hanging from a thread till you dead, cause your partner put a price on your head, cause your chick was laying up in his bed. She getting details, spilling every word that you said. She working retail, thirsty bitch just trying to get ahead. If history tell us anything, y'all both end up dead. It's just a street tale of fable, some shit someone said. Sit at the table and hope there's more to offer than bread. Pulled out the cradle, first steps you getting chased by a fed. No head starts, just body parts and lead sparks. Old religion, brand new hate and weak hearts. Oligarchs, krakens, dragons, you see sharks. Imagine you could manage to maneuver the deep part. You a savage, you can have it, just show all your teeth sharp. If you could grab it, you could stab it, just aim for the bleeding heart. The ones that show compassion, a soldier that seeks art. Does the artist that wage war take over or take part? Taking a knee, thinking no one faithful is me. I'm good people in bad lands, no evil live within me. I mind mine, I survive, find this lands for the free. If I'm mistaken, I'm forsaken, no one rescuing me. Residual effects, stray bullets through familiar necks. For any number of infractions that I deem disrespect. Your beliefs, you deserve better, but we both in the shit. You just haven't come to grips with it yet. Fight or flight, and they ain't really nowhere to go. If your back is against the wall and you ain't throwing no blows, you gon' crumble in the rubble, become blood in the snow. If you a victim, they collect them, grab the body and go. Dig them and ditch them, total disregard for the soul. Gas them and lit them, watch the flesh burn in the glow. Where we live and catch a shivering, it's a hell you don't know. Your best hope is that your dying ain't slow, or your dying's a show. Where we at, it's every man for his own. A bloody backdrop, where killers just zone and slice flesh to the bone. Masked and gloved up front of your home. A flash of gun, but the side of your dome. Fresh blood from a stone, dents in your sense. Kick your fucking ball through the fence, dare you to say something. No sense in sitting around in suspense. Find out what's next, open your fucking mouth, disrespect. See the extent of how my life is intense. She beautiful and oppressed in a permanent summer dress. She a servant and still she blessed. Children cradled against her breast, whispering prayers, wishing their souls the best, knowing that they forgotten, not forgetting they're blessed. The bloodiest red lights, just piles of dead life. Something must be broken, the glyphs wasn't read right. You think them Bible papers will shed light? Yeah, right. Burn after reading, tell the preacher I'm leaving. What is poppin', my people? Welcome to Shy Ill Reacts. I am your host, Shy Ill, and we are back at it like bad habits. Salutes to you for being here tonight. I appreciate you. What is poppin'? Salutes. Hunters up in the chat for y'all. I appreciate y'all being here on this lovely Friday night. right? Smoke them if you got them, drink them if you got them. If you're sober, here's a hug from me to you, to all of my people out there driving on the road, traveling, whatever it is. Be safe. Get to your destination thoroughly without incident or injury. Salutes to y'all. It's been a couple of days since we've gone live, and we are back with a good one today, all right? Salutes. We're going to get through the chat, see what's up with the people in the chat. Please wipe your feet on the way in and hit the like button. We are all up in your motherfucking bubble. All right? Salutes to y'all. I appreciate y'all for being here. We're going to hang out for a bit tonight, and we're going to talk some shit. All right? Salutes Zoraida on the check-in. Salutes, hold on. Let me see if I can find it, because it looked like it disappeared from the chat. But shout out Street Vids. Street Vids was here days early, all right? Dropped a comment, but I can't seem to pull it up right now. But shout out Zoraida on the check-in. Salutes Eddie Jimenez. All right? Salutes Anthony. Said real happy about this collabo. So are we. Salutes. All right. Again, hit that like button on the way in. Shout out to Pooh. Salutes to you. Velez 408. 030 North. What's popping? Shout out AV. No cap. With Bordo, you could tell he's been in the streets. Absolutely. Shout out 030 North. Shout out Zaza. Salutes. Appreciate you, Velez. Shout out Jonathan Pantoja with the $5 super chat. Salute Shah Il, my dude, and Il Cartel members. Everyone here to enjoy the great quality content. Please like and subscribe. It is free. Don't cost you a damn thing. All right, so hit that like button. Shout out Albert Flores in the building. Albert Flores has been campaigning for this collab for a while now. Salutes to him. Right. For those that don't know who we're going to speak to today, we're going to speak to Fernando Puente. Fernando Puente is the host of El Bordo Entertainment, which is a YouTube channel that I will be dropping the handle for in the chat. I got it right here. Give me a sec. He's a dude that grew up on the border between Tijuana and the United States, and he knows his shit. He knows his shit. He knows a lot of people. He has a lot of information. I've seen other people interview him, and they throw up cartel smuggler, cartel this in the title and shit like that, and ask a million questions. I mean, I got a couple of questions. I'm sure the chat got a couple of questions, but this is gonna be more a conversation between two YouTubers in this field with an understanding of one another. So it's gonna be a little less a little more casual than the usual interview. Y'all know how we do over here. We come over here, we hang out. All right? No pressure on it, all right? Firme con los firmes. Salutes to you, Velez. Shout out William Borden on the check-in. But again, so he's done a lot of interviews. I commend him because he's a dude that at any given time in his life could have gone all the way left and been, one of your favorite narcos right now. You know what I'm saying? He's a smart dude. I've watched a bunch of his interviews. He has an up on a lot of people. Here goes the handle. I'm gonna drop it in the chat for El Bordo's YouTube channel. Boom. If you can't click on it, hold on. I got it right here. Let me get the link, because I don't think his handle is clickable. I'm gonna ask him if that's something he chose, or if he wants to fix that so that people can click on the handle. All right, but he got a strong YouTube channel. All right, 17,000 subs. Salutes to him. He's doing this thing. He could be doing a whole bunch of other shit, but he's doing that. So salutes to him. He's very knowledgeable on the situation. Very respectful dude. He offered himself up to the channel. Willingly and without push. So salutes to him. I know a lot of y'all have wanted this to happen for a while. Recently, he had a live stream. For those that don't know, he does his live streams and then he deletes them. So you're there, you get the information, or you don't get the information. If you didn't get the information, you're out of luck, papas. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Albert Flores. He'd be like, man, bro, you got to check this out. And he sent a couple of his followers to go find Jay Flores, and they ended up in our comments. Very respectful supporters. They came up in there and they was like, yo, man, my boy trying to get up with Jay, woo woo. We made that happen, and then I got to speak to Fernando himself and work this out today, But yeah, so we're gonna talk to him. We're gonna get into a couple of things. A lot of things in common. He's a hip hop dude. He's a graffiti dude. Been in the streets. Used to help cross people across the border. Got popped off for that once, I believe once. Has life experience. Hold on a second. I don't know why that music's playing. Give me a second. Oh, wait. There it is. The live stream's playing over here. My bad. All right, so boom. Albert Flores said, check out his Señor Siete series on Cartel Stories. Really good. Yeah, also, I'll drop the link for, he just did something with Johnny Mitchell, and he just did something with Ed Calderon, so we'll drop those links in here as well. Matter of fact, those are right here. We'll drop those links. He just had a fresh interview he just did with Ed Calderon 3 weeks ago. So I'll share that. Bow, drop that in the chat. Hit the like button if you have yet to do so. Salutes. All right, shout out Think Like a Kingpin on the check-in. Appreciate you. Anthony said, I asked him on his lives multiple times to check out your content, and he did. He said on a live that he messed with it. Salutes to him, man. I appreciate him. Definitely. All right, boom. So there's the link for the Ed Calderon video, and I'll even drop the link for the Johnny Mitchell stuff that they did. With the Johnny Mitchell stuff, it was basically, they were out there, they were in places that Fernando was, familiar with, and some that he was, familiar with from a distance, but they was out there. Him and Ed Calderon walked through the city with Johnny Mitchell. Was something to see. All right, let me look that up real quick. What's that? What's his joint? The Connect. All right. How was it? I hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving. All right. Puro pavo, plebada. Salutes. We got a mamabicho in the building already. Worried about my beard. You worried about my beard? You trying to keep it for me? You fucking lame. Huh? Worry about your mother's beard. How about that? I like breaking your balls because you're a fucking lame. Of course you like breaking balls. Hold on. I'm looking for this Johnny Mitchell. There it is. I'm looking for the special where they went outside in Tijuana. There it is. I can't even say that word. They'll fuck around and clap me right now. All right, boom. There we go. Drop that in there. So y'all can check that out on your time. Shout out Zaza. I had my doubts, but now I know for sure. Now you know what? What did you have your doubts about, Zaza? Shout out Anthony. For those of you that don't know, he also helped Edgardo Villarreal write his book. Bandidos, that's another thing. He's a creative. He's a writer, a graffiti writer. He does a little bit of everything. Renaissance man, you know what I mean? Shout out Velez. What did y'all doubt, man? Holla at your boy. Shout out Juan Quintero on the check-in. Appreciate you. Zaza, you taking too long, man. You're gonna end up in the fucking bathroom. In the fucking bedroom. But yeah, so the man got a lot under his belt. He's still a young dude. He got a lot of life ahead of him. He got a lot of work ahead of him. And he's spinning a lot of plates. I understand how that goes, and he's trying to get the job done. So salutes to him. He'll be in here shortly. Again, make sure y'all hit the like button on the way in. I got it, Juan Quintero. I peeped the salutes. Think like keep it said the plug, the connect. Johnny Mitchell, the plug. Oh, that shit's funny. Who's the plug king, bro? All right, boom. The link is out there. The live chat is over here. Let me give some hundreds up for Jonathan real quick. Boom. Time to reply. Super chat is expired. Oh, can't reply to it. My apologies. All right, somebody knocking at the door. I will answer the door. Salute, salute, salutes. Can you hear me, sir?
Yo.
Yo. All right. All right, everybody. Welcome. Fernando Puente of El Bordo. A lot of y'all wanted him to be here. He's here. Salutes to him. Bow. Welcome, brother.
Hey, what's up, man? Right, thanks for the invite.
Man, thank you, bro. Thank you for coming. We appreciate your time, and we're gonna try to appreciate your time. Again, I was telling them this is a much more casual situation than probably usually get. I seen you talk to Julian Dorsey and Johnny Mitchell and stuff, and it's like we're a little bit more relaxed and more conversation style. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, yeah, I feel you, I feel you.
yeah, and we also like I try to stay away from the clickbaity shit. I didn't want to put you up there on the title as cartel smuggler from fucking. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's
yeah. I mean, they used it for the clickbait. I get it.
yeah, yeah,
And I mean, if you watch the first one I did with Danny Jones, um, yeah, he named it like cartel smuggler. But the first thing I say as soon as the video starts is I was never in the cartel. So that was kind
absolutely.
of a it was kind of a condition I told him to, like, you could clickbait the name, but make sure like that's the first thing I say as soon as it starts. You know.
Yeah, it's like because you have an understanding of the shit that they don't have an understanding of. It's like, yeah, clickbait
Yeah,
is
because
one
I
thing.
mean, one thing is a good friend out here, Cholo Juan, he calls it, this is the YouTube yarda. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
The YouTube yarda is one thing, and the streets is another thing, and words like that
absolutely.
can you know what I mean, can be in both sides in
Yeah,
a way. So
intertwine the two in a way that that probably wasn't supposed to happen, but it happened because of some bullshit like that.
yeah, exactly.
But I did notice that. I thought that was dope that you instantly off the bat you was like, let's make it very clear because there's some dudes that'll run with the story. That's just what the internet is people running with. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I was cartel guy, and it's like, come on, man, what the fuck are we talking about?
Yeah, especially when wait, is it working or no?
You froze up on me. There you go. You back.
Okay. Yeah, no, because usually like people don't really understand about like the gray areas, like what I've been explaining on some of these podcasts of how like you can kind of like freelance, you know what I mean? And I mean sometimes get some work from the cartel, sometimes you do your own thing, you know? You don't have to be like on a payroll or something like that to be like considered. I mean, unless you're really like with them 24/7,
Mm-hmm.
like everything you do is with them, then yeah, you're part of it. You know what I mean? But if you're just kind of like sometimes doing stuff and shit like that, you're not really part of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, like it's like what we run into with guys on the internet. That's like, yeah, they sold the dime bag, and they're like, I bought the QP from a Mexican dude, and it's like, yeah, I was smuggling I was selling for the cartel. You know what I'm saying? Like, word.
Yeah, it's easy to say that on the internet, and it's easier for people to believe that, to believe you. You know, if you're the one saying that, but yeah, that's kind of some of the stuff I've been trying to explain to people out here in these podcasts.
Yeah. That's what's up. A little bit about your background, man. I want to talk about your graffiti life. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm a hip hop dude. I'm an MC. I believe I'm older than you. How old are you?
I just turned 35 like a few weeks ago.
Salutes, happy birthday. You know what I'm saying? I'm about 10 years older
Thanks.
than you. But I'm interested, yeah, in your hip hop. You coming up on the border town like that and going back and forth. You already had a unique experience. You know what I'm saying? And it allowed you, something that probably kids deep on the Mexican side didn't get this admiration and this joy for hip hop and graffiti and stuff like that. So that's like it's a different ingredient in your story that you're a hip hop dude. I want to hear about that first. Like, tell me about your beginnings in graffiti and with music and shit like that.
Well, I mean, with music, I was always attracted to music. Always, like, I was always that kid with the headphones. You know what I mean? Always bumping different shit. I remember we used to record the tapes. You know, you had to wait in the radios for the song you wanted to come on, and then once it was on, I would record it on my tape, and that's like my first playlist. You know what I mean? Just catching the songs I wanted in the radio and just recording them on a tape. I don't know if people know this, or a lot of people know this, but the cassettes, you could just put like you could
Yeah,
just cover the little holes on the top, and then you could record on that. You know, whether it was like a commercial tape or like a famous person's tape, you could still like record over that if you uh if you cover those little holes. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about.
absolutely.
So I mean, I had an uncle. He passed away a few years ago, but he was 9 years older than me, and he was really into like the street life too. So like all the Dr. Dre and all the Brother Lynch and Bone Thugs and Harmony and all that. I kind of got it from him, you know. And I had a friend back in my neighborhood. He also had like an older cousin. He was like 7 years older, and he would listen to a lot of Cypress Hill in Spanish. You know, when that double album came out, and they had they had all these songs in Spanish. That was the first time. I think Yo Quiero Fumar Mota was like the first song I ever memorized. You know, yeah, just because the lyrics were so simple and it was in Spanish and it was kind of like the first thing you heard. I mean, I remember I couldn't bump that in my house because my mom would trip. But one time my uncle caught me listening to it. He just laughed. He's like, "What the fuck are you listening to?" I was like, "Oh, just this tape I got from so and so," and he just laughed and walked out. But yeah, I mean, plus it was the MTV days, so we just love the videos, man. I mean, some not even hip hop videos. I remember that one song by Madonna, the music. I think it was music. Well, the video was just crazy. It was just like cartoonish mixed with like very luxurious, like very extravagant and like exaggerated. You know what I mean? So I remember that was a cool video. So just I was me and my friends were just fans of MTV and a lot of that culture. You know, the music culture, but all the rap and all that stuff, I got it from my uncle. And I mean, I kind of was always a creative kid. So what I saw things created around my neighborhood or artistic were graffiti murals. You know what I mean? Graffiti was big in TJ for the same reason of being next to the border. You know, we get a lot of influence from LA. You know, all these stuff just drips down to TJ. Back then, it took a few years to catch on out there because it's not like today in social media where an artist like releases something and it's available to the world. You know, back then, like you kind of had to wait for that wave, you know, to reach out there. And and for the same reason that a lot of people don't understand the lyrics, um, we were very West Coast just because the beats. You know what I mean? Just because the music and the flow was like, you know what I mean? It was different than like a New York beat, for instance. You know, where it's a little bit more of the lyrics. You know,
Yeah,
you really
at that time, you were gonna know the difference. It ain't like now where a lot of people got the same kind of style. You was gonna tell the difference back then for sure.
yeah, exactly, and all that West Coast stuff. Plus, I mean, just having them perform in like places like Rosarito or Tijuana for like the spring break and all that. I remember Revolution Avenue in TJ. It's just this big ass avenue with like 8 streets of just filled with clubs, you know, and they tend a lot to tourists because we're right next to the border. So you would have like on the first street you have like DJ Quick, and then 2 blocks later you have like I don't know, like 50 Cent. You know what I mean? And they were all like they would have concerts out there, and then that's where they went an after party.
Mm.
So I mean I couldn't go into the clubs because I was like like 14, 15, but Avenida Revolucion was kind of like the place where you went and walked around with all your your neighborhood, your gang or whatever. You fought other guys, or you know what I mean, and you go pick up girls and stuff even if you were a minor. So I remember I had some friends that were able to go in the club with like fake IDs or something. And I remember we had these old phones where the camera was all fucked up. But I remember I gave my phone to one of them and he took pictures of like DJ Quick and Jayo Felony and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, and then also realizing when I realized like corridos were like the Mexican rap, the Mexican gangster rap, because I was always into gangster rap. It just everything just kind of went full circle, you know.
That's what's up. Yeah, man, hip hop. It's a beautiful thing. It's a universal language for a lot of people. You know, from all of it, from the graffiti to the dancing to the music.
Yeah, and we had a lot of graffiti movement out there. We had a lot of we had like local magazines, not local, but like Mexican magazines being sold in like the newsstands and stuff like that. And back then I was always walking, man. So in the morning I would catch a ride with my mom when she went to work. She would drop me off at the trolley station,
Brian
but she would
Furrow
drop me
just
off like
subscribed on
at
YouTube.
6 in the morning, you know. So I had to wait a little bit for my bus to get there and all that. So after school, I just caught the bus to the border and then walked across. And downtown is not really that far, so sometimes if I'm like with a couple of friends and we're just having fun, we'll walk all the way to downtown and catch the other bus all the way to my house. Or sometimes I would catch the bus right there at the border to downtown and so on. But every time I walked over there, it's like you just saw everything. You know, you saw all the culture, you saw the murals. You know how downtown is. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
So yeah, just having all this stuff around. I was always drawing too. I was always with a notebook. You know, with just like even I never like got art classes or anything. But I remember at first I would trace like some of the drawings and then kind of like repeat it. You know what I mean? To learn how to make some of the like the eyes or the nose or letters mostly because I always did letters. So So yeah, that's kind of where the love began, I think, for hip hop.
Do you still get to paint?
Yeah, I mean, not as often and not as constantly, but I always got a backpack full of cans. I mean, actually, I'm not even gonna lie. I'm in my car right now, and you know
That's
what I mean.
it.
That never goes away,
Yeah,
man.
that's some bloodstream shit. Like you're just gonna have it. It's just gonna be there.
It's just there. Yeah, yeah. I mean, once I got older and I stopped with like the nickname, and because in TJ we were more like tag bangers, you know, it was a lot of both, a lot of graffiti, but also a lot of fighting and stuff. So, I mean, once I got older and like I wasn't really trying to like get my name out there. I didn't really get the satisfaction of like putting my name out there. I started doing like characters. Just I always kind of wanted to draw like cartoons and stuff, but I wasn't never good at drawing, or at least I felt like it. And then I remember one time this has to be like 5 years ago, probably, or a little bit more. And I wanted some stuff done in my room, so I called my friend who actually I began painting with him, and I told him like, "Hey, wait, can you draw this in the door, whatever?" And he's like, "Simon," and he's like, "You want me to do it right now?" I was like, because I thought he was gonna, like do it
Right.
first, and like do all this shit. And he's like, and I was, like, yeah, yeah, do it right now. So I was just looking at him, looking at the picture, and going at it, and he fucking did it. You know what I mean? And once he did that, it got to me like, like I was like, man, like not. I was like, if he can do it, I can do it because we started the same and we're kind of like the same
Right.
like talent wise. So yeah, so he left, whatever, and then after that, I tried it with a Bart Simpson, and it came out fucking perfect, man. Like if I was been drawing all my life, and then
You unlocked the superpower you ain't even know you fucking
yeah, bro, like on my
had.
fucking 28, 29 years old, I fucking learned I knew how to draw with a can. It's funny because on paper they don't come out as well, but when I do it like on a bigger size and with a can, they come out like the way I wanted to come out. I've been doing characters since then. Like every time I'm bored, or whatever, I just been doing like Looney Tunes, like Bart Simpson, Speedy Gonzalez, or just stuff like that, and I'll just put like El Bordo next to it or stuff like that.
Nice.
But yeah, I mean that's gonna be forever.
For sure. I heard you say on a podcast that there was an evolution in the murals that coming up, a lot of the murals had to do with a lot of the bosses or a lot of the cartel life and stuff like that. And it's evolved into things like one of my favorite fighters, Brandon Moreno, having a giant mural in TJ. You know what I'm saying? Um,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Tell me about that, and tell me if tell me a little something you could tell me about Brendan Moreno and his come up there. Like I watched his come up on this side, you know what I'm saying? Always rooting for that fucking guy, genuine guy, very authentic guy. He seems, you know what I'm saying, nice guy. How did you guys see that in TJ his little come up?
Nah, we love him, man. I mean, Tijuana's always been like a lot of athletic stars have come out, and like boxing and wrestling. Wrestling they call it TJ in Mexican wrestling they call it, what do they call it? The cemetery of the mask, because everybody lost their mask there. You know how they bet like a mask or cabellera. You know what I mean? Either you shave your head or you took a mask. It's in the triple A thing in Mexican wrestling. So Tijuana has a lot of great wrestlers, man, like legendary, like even referees. So they call it the cemetery of the mask because a lot of people, a lot of popular wrestlers lost their mask out here and those kind of battles and stuff. So just having that, like Terrible Morales, one of the greatest boxers. I mean, Julio Cesar Chavez is from Sinaloa, but he stays in TJ. He's always loved TJ, so you see him a lot around. There's a big community in fighting. So now that the UFC came out, it was big in TJ before anywhere else. And just because we're very close to the border, you know what I mean? Like it's very like TJ is not like any other place in Mexico. It's very very half and half almost. You know what I mean? Um, so I mean, we're very proud of Brandon Moreno, the guy you're talking about doing the murals. I started painting with him too.
Nice.
When I was like, I think I have a podcast with Mode. That was like my second legal wall I did with him. He was already like 5 years deep in the graffiti probably by that time. He was already doing like 3 dealers and stuff like that. And those were my beginnings, man. And now just seeing him doing his thing big, like now if you like I told him, like I'm now, one of my goals is to get a mural from you. You know what I mean? Like once you get a mural from Mo, yeah, because he just done like
And
a bunch of people in TJ.
let's get it while I'm living, motherfuckers. All
Yeah,
right,
I told him too. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I need to see that live, bro. So So I mean, that's kind of one of the little things why I do all this stuff. When I try to put on for my name for my city. You know what I mean? Just because I really fuck with all the local shit that's happening. I really like once I like see the bigger picture and just see all these different outlets and stuff. Like when I saw Ed Calderon and Joe Rogan, I was like, oh shit! Like there's a there's there's um there's a fan base for this. You know what I
Mm,
mean? Like we're actually special out here. You know,
mm,
we're living a whole fucking different world that it's actually interesting that people learn about. You know, and I love my
absolutely.
city, so I love to talk about it. You know, I
Was
don't
that
mind.
one of the starts of your channel? Did you have a channel already when Ed went on Joe Rogan, or did that come after? Or
Nah, that came way after. I mean, I got in the kind of in the industry, basically just sidekicking Codiciado, which is a famous corrido singer. Um, like back in 2015, I started getting to. I used to sell a lot of weed, a lot of like American weed out there.
mm,
So I started. I used to sell to a lot of musicians. We got a big music community out there, like norteños and all that.
mm,
So I would tell to a lot of them, and I remember when my friends passed, I wanted to make them a corrido, so that's kind of I started tapping into the music. Eventually, like one thing led to the other. I met this guy from Codiciado, and we just became really good friends. Up to this day, like we consider each other like one of our. He's one of my best friends, you know. So so we came. I mean, I was on his come up and actually helped, you know, just changing the whole industry, like this. I mean, I'm sure you're familiar with like the suits that the norteños wear, like the corridos and all that. You know, they used to wear the hat and the
mm-hmm,
suits, and that's really like country swag. You know what I mean? So I remember I told my friend like, "Hey, we're from the city. You know, we don't really dress like that. Like, no, you don't see people out here with the sombreros. You
mm,
don't see them with that kind of dress." So
mm,
my homie has swag, so I told him like, "Hey, if you stop using those suits and actually start wearing like your own shit, I think that can pop off because." Like I said, I've always been a fan of hip hop, so I know the whole story of how the hip hop evolution has gone through. And I was like, this is gonna go through the same thing because it's street music, you know.
mm.
And it's crazy because everything we talked about, we got high on acid that one time, and I explained him like the whole history on hip hop. I translated Kendrick songs. I showed him ASAP Rocky videos. You know what I mean? I just fucking,
That's
I
what
just
I'll be
filled them
on.
up
I'll beat
with all
somebody's
this shit.
ear in with some hip hop, boy.
Yeah. So I mean, and you could tell, you could see the change. Like my friend, he gets the recognition for like all the major industry figures about being like one of the pioneers of like bringing that swag and bringing that urban stuff to the corridos. You know, after that it went off. Like you see Natanael Cano, you see
Mm-hmm.
JOPs, and then after that you see what Peso Pluma's doing right now. So I mean, you know what I mean? I don't want to like take that responsibility. Like, yeah, but I kind of did put my
Hey,
five
own
cents
that
in on
shit.
that. You know
Own
what I
it.
mean?
It's yours, bro. Own it.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Because that's like a thing that I talk about with the twins a lot about how, people get it fucked up. The Mexican culture in Chicago is not like the Mexican culture in LA. It's not like the Mexican culture in Texas. And I'm sure it's like you said for TJ, you know what I'm saying? It's something different, like it's just different everywhere. And it doesn't, people don't realize that. They think everybody's the same thing. They stereotype people to one thing. You wear khakis with a crease, you wear this and that, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah. And I mean, yeah, I mean, you got some people from like let's say what they call the pochos or the no sabo kids, you know, that they say like, oh, they don't even fuck with me in Mexico or shit like that. But I mean, it's not really like that. It's very regional. I mean, even in Mexico, the guys from Merida, Yucatan are not like the guys from Tamaulipas, you know, and the guys from Tamaulipas are not like the guys from Sinaloa, and the guys from Sinaloa are not like the guys from Puebla or CDMX, you know,
mm,
and the guys from CDMX are not like the guys from TJ. So you can't expect to Mexicans from LA or Mexicans from Chicago or Mexicans from Texas to be the same amongst themselves either. You know what I mean?
right.
So I think it just comes down to the regional thing.
Yeah, I mean that's us as humans anyway. We always gonna find something to bitch about,
Exactly.
complain about. I got to give you props. You know what I'm saying? Again, I didn't want to just beat down your story and where you come from. Again, for those that don't know, I know most of y'all in the chat know. For those that don't know, you know what I'm saying? Fernando grew up on the border between TJ and San Diego, and his family was I'd say lightly in the game. Lightly?
Yeah. In the early '90s, for a little bit, for a couple of years and stuff. Yeah, my grandma was with. Yeah, she. she kind of had the connects to do a couple stuff, but then like 92, 93, it all stopped after that. I mean, for my family, my uncle kind of kept going back in. He got caught like in 2005, I believe, doing some shit. So we good?
Yeah, yeah. I hear you.
Okay, okay. And when in 2005 I was like 15, so at this time I'm really deep into the graffiti world. But I also read a lot. I also read a lot of books and stuff, and I listen to corridos at this point. So some names I've heard my grandma talk about, I kind of like are hearing them in the corridos and kind of reading about them in some of these cartel books, you know.
Mm,
So a lot of shit started like, you start questioning. And then my uncle got caught, doing what? Oh, selling fucking meth. Oh shit, you start.
mm,
And then like, oh, you start meeting my uncle's friends, like, oh, he was working for them, and this and that. They weren't like big guys or anything, but like mid-level stuff. And I'm just kind of like barely getting, like, I'm not really interested, to be honest, bro. Like, I'm more into the artistic thing. I love
mm.
graffiti, I love fucking hip hop, I love all that
You
shit.
were
So
creative first.
yeah, I mean, I didn't get pulled into life till I was like 17, probably,
Mm,
17, 18, or you're a little bit older. By this time, I've been known in the graffiti. We kind of did it big. I started a crew from zero. It was the new generation of bandits because we started that. So once I positioned it, like I started painting with the guys from HEM, which is U.S Mexico, one of the most legendary, if not the most legendary crew in Tijuana. Now it's like everywhere. It's international. They got people everywhere. But I, s- I, I would paint with them. They were like 20-year-old dudes, 18-year-old dudes, or 20 plus. And I was like 15, 14. And they just kind of took me under the wing and they fucked with me a lot. So eventually I remember this was this Christmas, and I was spending Christmas with some of those guys, and they kind of actually offered in a way. They were like, "Hey, man, if you keep it up, like you're gonna be able to join our crew one day." And I'm gonna keep it a bug, man. Like inside, like my heart was like, like, oh fuck, like when you reach a goal, you know what I mean?
yeah.
And but at the same time, I tell him like on my head, I was like, okay, if I'm good enough to be in HEM, then that means I could bring that value to my crew. You know
Mm,
what I mean? So so I was like, hey man, like as much as I love this shit and I appreciate it and all this and that, like I kind of want to stay in my crew. Like I kind of want to bring that value to like my crew. You know what I mean?
right.
So that's kind of like, I mean, I was like a muralist and I was painting with the top dogs. I had some friends that were taggers and they were going up in buildings and stuff. I had the fighter. I mean, we all fought, but we had the guys that specially fought. That did
Hmm.
never painted anything. They would just fight.
Right.
So so we kind of became known, man, to the point where there's still dudes out there tagging the little NGB you see in downtown. And I mean, I don't know who they are now. You know what I mean? But you kind of still see some guys, some kids still trying to bring it up. Or I'm kind of like a little legend in my hood now. You know what I mean? Kind of like what I wanted to be.
Hmm.
But I mean, once you get that, you want to get something else and then something else. So like when I fell into graffiti, I kind of like passed all the levels. You start seeing friends working with a cartel now,
Mm.
you started seeing guys with like fucking riding in convoys or in guns, or going back and forth to LA, or just having a lot of money and the clubs and all this thing. So yeah, that's kind of when this transition came.
So your shit was what, like a little bit like Bud and walking people across the border.
Well, yeah, I mean, when we first start, we're doing anything, man. If like the homies sold stuff, I would help them sell it. If somebody was crossing shit,
Freelancing,
or help them cross
freelancing.
it.
Yeah.
If other shit was being done and we're around there, we'll do it.
Right.
We're just fucking building up a resume in a way. You know what
Right.
I mean? And I was that kid, man. I was that like, hey, whatever. Every time I met somebody, like, hey, whatever you need, like, I'm down. You know what I mean? And I was down sometimes, most of the time. So so yeah, I mean, that's kind of how, like, that's why I was in the MCC at 19. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
I
Right.
started. So so it's crazy because a lot of that stuff that happened back then, now it's like I get to use on my podcast in a weird way.
Hmm.
So yeah, man, it's just like this full on circle still fucks with my mind
Yeah,
sometimes.
because I say this, man. Like I saw again in a podcast where they were like, you were like, man, I was in a position where I could be the cartel guy, and he was like, you still feel like they said, man, I joined tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? And you said it kind of jokingly. You know what I'm saying? But I say this: if anybody probably could have, it probably could have been you. And shit could have gone left a long time ago. Shit could go left 5 years from now if you had made that decision. You know what I'm saying? But I think you're too creative. I think you've known this within yourself for too long, and you have ambitions and you see the end of the road. You know, somebody came on here one time and asked me, Shy, how did you know to not crash the fuck out? I said, well, you know, you get lucky a bunch of times and you realize this shit can go left. I gotta do something because I see what's up ahead. The motherfucker that crashes out is the dude that didn't see what was up ahead or didn't care what was up ahead. He just did what he was gonna do. He crashed out, and some of them blame everybody else for that shit. You know what I'm saying? So I salute you. You could have gone left at any moment. You had every excuse, every reason, and right now you're growing something that nobody could take away from you.
Yeah, and just also like, to be honest, just fucking like, I kind of mentalized myself that I wasn't gonna make it, like, I don't know, past 23 or some shit like that.
Oh, I know it.
So I kind of did crash out a few times, and then just not dying, it also fuck with me, bro. Like every time now, it's like, why, like, how do I keep making it out of these fucking situations?
Salutes
You know
to
what I
everyone
mean?
in the
It's
chat
like,
and the great quality
it's like
content.
fuck, man. So
Like and
like
subscribe.
now
It's
every
free.
birthday, I talk to
100.
some of the guys that are still going or like, working with the bus or whatever, and we just that's our conversation. Like, hey, bro, like 34, 35, dog, you know what I mean? It's like,
Right, right.
god damn, like, so. But yeah, I mean, it was always the creative part. It was always that I was willing to not live long enough. You know what I mean? I was like, I want to, like, I don't know, like I always kind of wanted my life to be in the movie, like, you know what I mean? And it's funny because it just keeps going, like it just keeps being that. I just keep living like that. I keep living like if it was my last day, not crashing out in a way, but like more maturely now. Like when I was young, yeah, I would crash out every day, like thinking like fuck it, But now it's more in a positive way, like being grateful about everything. You know what I
There's
mean?
a
Being
different
grateful that
movie
I get
now.
to fucking walk my dog in the morning with a nice fucking sun coming out, and my mom's healthy and my sisters are healthy and shit like that. Now is that's my crashing out now. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah. It's a different movie. It's not, Scarface coming off of the fucking balcony. It's a different movie now,
Yeah,
But
and
we
then
see
just
that movie.
being in the music industry and seeing, like, you don't get to see successful people like that in the hood, or normally being that successful. You think that only doing cartel shit is gonna get you that amount of money. So when you actually see, like for me, just being in the fucking passenger side seat with my homie and him being like famous, like super famous, having hits and all this stuff, getting Lambos. He's fucking driving all kinds of fucking luxurious cars, and he picks me up in the hood on them. You know what I mean? Urus, fucking Porsches, anything. Right now, he's still doing good. So just riding that way with him and everything, just being like, oh shit, like you can actually be creative and be fucking still gangster in a way, and actually live the way you want to live, and be fucking rich. You kind of get the whole thing, and you don't have to hide. You get to pay taxes. You don't have to fucking do anything bad. You don't have
Right.
to
You
be
get to
fucking
pay
shooting
taxes.
each other and shit like that. So to me, when I actually realized that, that's when I was like, oh, you know what? Fuck this. I got a lot of fucking creative ideas to fucking actually do something. I know the people now. I kind of know the way because my friend, I translated for him like a bunch of meetings and shit that he wouldn't trust the label's translator. So he's like, hey, nah, I got my homie that speaks English, and I read it, like I understand more the way he explains it to me.
Oof.
So they would sit me down in these fucking, industry meetings and
That's
shit.
a huge
And so,
asset, bro. You're a huge asset in that sense because that's where the fucking happens. At that
yeah, so
table,
I've been in the inside of the industry and just looking at all this stuff. I realized, like, you know, not a lot of these dudes are the most talented dudes. They were just the ones that fucking went for it. You know what I mean? Like, not a lot of these dudes are the sickest, but they were just fucking knocking the door. They were just trying a lot. So, I mean, after I realized that, that's when I started doing my own thing, man. That's when I was like, fuck this. I'm way ahead of these fools. No way. You know what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah, the hard work is gonna beat talent. There's a lot of guys that get by on natural talent, but that shit runs out once they don't put the work in. The dude that
Yeah.
works, gaining shit
Mhm.
every day.
Yep.
Every
Yeah,
day.
that's why I tell them, like, you gotta be the hardworking is gonna beat talent any day. So if you got both, imagine. You know what I mean? Imagine what you can get.
Absolutely, man. Salutes to you. Salutes to the chat, man. I appreciate y'all for hanging out. Make sure y'all hit the like button. All right. Salute to
Hey,
Fernando.
since I'm on my phone, I can't really see the chat, so I only see the window where the video thing is going on.
Yeah, let me see. You
But I don't
mind
get.
answering any questions for the chat?
I want to, but I can't.
Oh, you can't see it?
If I switch windows, it's gonna freeze a
Oh,
little bit. So
hold on now. I could put you can see my screen though, right?
no.
No, you can't see me either. Oh yeah, it'll turn off. I see what you're saying. Cause you're on the phone.
Let me see if I can multi-window so I can read the chat.
Let me know.
It might freeze a little bit, but I'll
Yeah,
come
and
back.
if not, yeah, no worries. And if not, I'll read them out to you. No worries. What's up, y'all? Honey's up in the chat for y'all, man. I appreciate y'all hanging out tonight.
So
I still see you. You good?
okay, yeah, because fucking Android got the multi-window shit, so I get to see the chat now a little bit. Let me see.
Shout out to all the usual suspects. I'm gonna drop the Discord link, and I'm going to drop the El Bordo link as well. Once again, you let us know when you're ready to go, bro. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, we will keep you here all night. Your time is precious, and we value it. So you can let us know. Give us a 10-minute warning, 15-minute warning, whatever.
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm reading the comments now.
Salutes, all right, honey.
Hello,
Salutes
Bordo,
to
free
all the usual
starter,
suspects.
tumbao fashion shit. That's right. He's spot on that guy from Codiciado started a fashion trend for the original mix. I got the receipts and everything, bro. I got the videos, I got the stories. No, los tamales weren't of carne, eran de chiva. That's
What's
right.
that
He
for the
knows the
for
story.
the
He knows the story.
corrido?
Yeah, and I just hear in the comments. It's crazy how life works itself out. Ask him what he thinks about the Narcos, Netflix. No, that's crazy. But yeah, I get to read it now. Yeah.
The Narcos on Netflix. Was that the one? Yeah, they did Jay and Pete bogus on that one. They put two guys with their hat broke off, one this way, one this way. All right, those guys are from Chicago right there.
And they just having Bad Bunny as a Narco Junior, man.
Yeah,
It's oh man,
yeah.
it was
He
just a
did
little
better than I
cringy.
thought as an actor. He did better than I thought he would do.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just over dramatically. You know what I mean? If like I always say, the truth is better than the fiction most of the time, if not like 95% of the time. So if you would actually portray the real guys, you would have gotten good characters. You know what I mean? You didn't have to like do all this fancy shit. You would have actually gotten like good fucking characters out of this. There's good stories on this shit, better than fucking a Martin Scorsese script, bro.
Better than
Some of this,
some dude named Larry or some dude named Tom that writes some fucking scene somewhere in a writing room that hasn't seen shit from shit. You know what I'm saying? And they're telling stories.
yeah, exactly, man. So I mean, I get it. You know what I mean? I get it. It's business. You know all this. I mean, obviously, if you know about that live, you're not gonna watch it with the seriousness of like, oh, you already watch it with like, all right, what do these fools do now? You know what I mean? What are these fucking
Right.
what are they talking about now? You know, a lot of people don't like watching that shit.
No.
Like the people that actually like they're being portrayed there, they don't fucking fuck with it at all. They're probably like seen it like in secret and they just don't fuck with it at all.
We're not
You know
talking
what I mean?
about
Like,
this.
because they're like, nah, I don't watch that shit. But I mean, I'm sure you just kind of watched it, by yourself, and you're like, fuck this.
Right.
So, but yeah, I mean, I know why they don't like it.
Right.
It's you can see why.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be just like, there's a new show called Landman about oil. There's going to be oil guys that are going to watch that shit and say, get the fuck out of here. It ain't got nothing to do with what we do. This is a glorification. Now, you talk about glorification. There was something that you said. There's something that we cover on this channel. We covered it a lot. We covered it heavy. A lot of people were very upset with me. When I got into this, I knew the cartel, from a street level point of view, like, yeah, it's over there. It's the cartel. I'm worried about this here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I know Chapo. I know Mayo, this guy. All right, that guy. When I started doing this channel, it was just going to be a reaction channel. You know what I'm saying? My life was always confrontation. I didn't want to have a controversial subject on YouTube. I wanted to react to some body cam videos, react to some stories, and go from there. What happened with that was I started covering the Flores twins podcast, right? And that brought me an influx of people that were interested in this cartel culture. And I was learning through that podcast, you know what I'm saying? And learning things about them, you know what I'm saying? Because there were connections between me and them before they even left to Mexico type of shit, you know?
Mm.
And got into it there, and I've learned a lot on the channel, you know what I'm saying? I've learned a lot on the channel. And one thing that became evident very early was, quick story, 50 Cent put out that he was doing the podcast with the twins. I put out, because I was disappointed, I put out a tweet that said, I'm an actor too, you know what I'm saying? So I put out a tweet that said, I want in on this 50, but I don't want to play a rat, right? 50's next Instagram post was every Oscar award winning rat that ever was on TV. All right, he posted up Denzel Washington. He posted up Cameron playing Alpo. He posted up. He said all these actors played these rats, and I was like, okay, Fifth, I was just fucking around. You know, I'm just playing. So I got into the twin story. Right, I was gonna do the podcast. I got into the twin story, and I was criticizing their moves. You know what I'm saying? They're showing everybody the bag. They pillow talking. They doing all this shit. You know, little did I know they're in the background. They're paying attention. They're watching. You know what I'm saying? Eventually they come on the show. So the first thing that I learned was, wait a minute, these dudes had three choices. You could die, you could become the man and go to war with everybody, or you do what they did. At that level of the game, it's not me and you rob the liquor store and you put the gun on me to get some time. This is a whole different scenario. This got to be dealt with a different kind of eye, right? This is how I'm feeling. Then I realized through the story that, oh, wait a minute. They all snitching over there. This is a tactic. This is something that's in the toolbox. You know what I'm saying? This is something that they use on the chessboard. And there was a lot of picking and choosing in my comments. Picking and choosing. And they'd be like, fucking rats. And I'd be like, well, what about Vicentillo? What about him? What about this one? What about that one? What are we talking about here? Why are we complaining about one? I want to hear the story. They know they snitched. They say they snitched. They wear that, whatever. They're not worried about it. Why are you worried about it? Can I get the rest of the story now? Or are you going to obsess with them being snitches? Okay? That was the first thing I learned. The second thing I learned was some of these guys were full-on child molesters, man. You know what I'm saying? Some of these guys was full-on child molesters.
Well, I mean, not to justify him in any way or anything, but in the countryside, in the ranchos and everything, it's kind of still very common to get like the 15, 16-year-old girls, you know what I mean? And it's gotten to the point where it's so common that they actually look to get married at that age with one of those guys. You know what I mean? So, like I said, it's not try to justify him or anything. It's obviously not something that I agree on, you know, or anything. But
right.
But I've seen it, you know. I've seen it in the rancho. I've seen anything. It's kind of like for them, it's still like normal, you know,
right.
In a way.
I'd argue that it got normal from decades and decades of chomo and abuse shit. And now it's to the point where it's a way out for some of these girls. Because we hear stories of how mothers used to bring their daughters to Pete and Jay Flores and say, please, you know, take my daughter.
Yeah.
That's a situational, circumstantial situation that these kids are in. And it's, yeah, we you know, because even Jay came on and talked about it. He was like, you know, the cultural part of this, again, no making a reason or an excuse for it. But it's a cultural thing. And again, my argument is this. It's only a cultural thing because it's gone on unchecked for so long, right? Now, what bothered me about it, that I would see people like Adam 22, and I don't know if he sells it, but there's some clothing line, and they got a picture of Pedro and a picture of Chapo, you know what I'm saying, on the shirt. Now, me, yeah, and I'm talking about they got jeans. I done seen Lefty Gunplay wearing them with the jeans, you know what I'm saying? And my thoughts is,
I think I've seen some of those stuff that has like all the faces from different guys or stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Well, mostly
is that what
it's
you're
those
talking
two. Yeah, mostly it's those two. But they repeat it over and over. Pablo Chapo, right? It's the young picture of Chapo when they photographed him outside the prison with the little jacket on. Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm hearing all these stories. I'm hearing it from the horse's mouth. And I said, wait a minute, I got to talk about this, man. I got to talk about, because people come in here and they pick a side. Puro este, puro el otro. and I'd be like, ah, y'all ain't making no. These motherfuckers ain't making you no money. Listen, I believe in the street, dude. I believe in getting away for your family and making money. I believe in if you got to get it away from the legal means, then do it. But once you start oppressing people, and once you start oppressing people that are not in the game, just like gang banging, once you start smoking motherfuckers that's not your ops, I don't want to hear it. You know what I'm saying? And I felt that way about the cartel with this chomo shit, and I started talking about it, and people were upset about it. Because my argument was, I don't want my kid wearing a shirt of Pablo Escobar and Chapo when Pablo Escobar had a 12-year-old pregnant wife and Chapo had 15-year-old girls that he was getting from parties and shit. You know what I'm saying? What so is that the take on it on that side? Like it's just basically it's a cultural situation?
Yeah, man. I mean, unfortunately, it's been like that for years, and I mean, not only them, like any rural area, any countryside, you know, you're gonna see stuff like that happening, even not related to the narco thing. You know,
Right.
it's just something that used to happen. I mean, we have songs, bro. You know, talking about like you know that one song, 17 años. You know what I mean? That cumbia. You know, talking about a young girl that he's in love with, whatever. You know, there's another one. Ah, amigo, tuve una novia a la edad de 14 años. You know what I mean? Like yeah, yeah, yeah. So I mean, it just dates back to like how things were, you know, back like oh what, like 100 years or something like that, or probably more. And I think eventually it's gonna evolve where it's gonna die out, you know, because a lot of women now are kind of realizing they don't want their daughters to, you know what I mean, like there's places where they're really poor. So if that to them that's the only salvation, that their daughter's gonna have a better life, maybe that's the way they look at it. You know what I mean?
Right. It's an
But at the
option.
same time, I think they kind of it's kind of changing now, where like women are becoming more like, you know, with like the whole feminist movement and all stuff like that. Like, I think it's kind of like setting up in their minds where like, you know, my daughter's not ready, you know, or you know,
Right.
I think it's eventually. But I mean, I'm talking from my privilege of living in the city of Tijuana and San Diego, where we're like a you know, metropolitan city.
Right.
If you go out there you know, in the ranchos, and you know, where you don't have light a few days of the week, or you don't have water and shit like that, you
Yeah.
know, I think it'll be a different opinion than mine.
Yeah.
You know what
Somebody
I mean?
fucking a goat out there. It's whatever. It's whatever.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I mean, it's a different life, man. It's a different lifestyle. But I do think that thanks to the internet and like all the information, and like I said, the women's being like stronger, and all that movement and stuff, I think that that's gonna die out.
Salutes. If you don't mind, we got Jay Flores knocking at the door. We're gonna bring Jay Flores up on the panel. If you cool with that, Bordo, let's get it.
I'm cool, man. I'm cool.
Wow, shout out Jay Flores. Salutes to Robin in the building. It's popping.
Salutes. Shy, Bordo,
Hey,
pleasure.
what's up, man? Pleasure.
Hey, how's it? Yeah, how's it going? Shouts out to everyone in the chat. I can't see anyone, but I just want to stop by and just tell you mis respetos. You know, it's nice to see you on the channel.
Yeah, nah, thanks for the invite again, man. I mean, I didn't even know Chicago fuck with me like that.
Yeah, we fuck with you though.
Hey, I'm surprised that you said yes to him because no one even likes Shy.
They don't fuck with me like that.
It's
Real ones
only
only on this side.
yeah, you ain't lying. But brother, you know what? I've been keeping up with your channel, man. With respect to like, you know, I was telling Shy that, like, you know, people are always asking me, why don't I go on other people's channel and stuff like that? And I'm always like, the politically correct thing to say is that I can't, or that I don't have nothing to promote or anything like that. But in reality, like you know, I can't say no to someone who's authentic and someone who's real, you know. Um,
Hey, thanks.
and that's why I said, look, man, I'm more than happy to jump on your channel and for us to talk and, you know, have an interview or whatever. It's up to you. I'm open to it, you know. Um, and I appreciate you even, you know, reaching out and you know, being interested. I know that it was a couple people on your channel that actually reached out and were commenting. So I think
Yeah,
that that's great to, you know, to your fans and everyone who's into that, you know.
yeah. I got a really strong fan base. Just out of we don't really have people representing our city like that right now. You know what I mean? Even the artists that we got that they're famous, they're like Grupo Firme. You know, you don't associate Grupo Firme with Tijuana. Kind of, you associate more now to like Mazatlan. You know what I mean? So like just having people like that, you kind of have this empty fanbase where it's like we need somebody to represent, and I think that's why I've been getting love, man, because that's the comment I've been getting more like, hey, man, thanks for what you're doing for the city, you're representing, you're telling the truth, you're a real one, and all this stuff. So like, so I mean, and thanks for recognizing. You know what I mean? I mean, the
Yeah,
same way, like we like I said, I mean, I don't really politics on like, well, you told them this or this and that. I just recognize like you're one of the realest ones at one point. You know what I mean? And I mean, you still are. You just had to do what you had to do, and I've come to learn that you don't get to judge people's decisions because you're not in their shoes, and until you're not there, there's all kinds of grays and all kinds of shit in this life. You know, like Ed calls it the upside down life or the upside down world because shit's just different. You know what I mean? So I kind of learned that at a very early age, but I still respect the realness, man. So that's
I
why I was
mean,
trying to reach out. You know.
yeah, Bordo, mis respetos, and ya sabes, it's I'm sure that you kind of understand. I think that I mentioned this, sometimes with Shy that, you know, especially as of recently, like people just started seeing this shit, through social media, and you've been at the border, like what it's like, and and being in the life, right? I don't make excuses, but like there's two sides of the way you view, look at things, and and living them, different vantage points, right? Like
Mhm.
it was easy for me to, well, at first it wasn't, but when you in the grand scheme of things, you look at everything that's going on. Like when you understand that from a, you know, firsthand experience, and you're witnessing it, on your own. Like I was like, man, like it's hard. Like you think all these years that everything's supposed to be a certain way, and then you start
Mhm.
recognizing that it's not. And it's hard, man. Like for anyone, like especially for me coming from Chicago, right? And like everyone's always wants to be the top dog, right? And they always seem like the ones that really try really hard, nunca son, right?
Mhm.
They don't make it.
Mhm.
And now here I am, always thinking that I was more of a, like, free enterprise, como like todos estamos iguales, right? With that kind of
Mhm.
mindset. And then I had to adjust, you know, to next thing you know, like, no way, you're you where we fall. Like I had bosses, and I had people
Mhm.
that would require for people to be a certain way, and that was something new for my brother and me. Like, what do you mean I can't be cool with everyone now? What do you mean I can't do this and I can't do that, right? That
Mhm.
was like a learning process, coming from the states, where todos decíamos, well, I'll do whatever I wanted,
Mhm.
and money is the one that decides, and money is power. And you get to a situation where it's like, no, 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 así no son las cosas. That was like a learning experience, but never kind of like went away from us, from me and my brother, to be like, man, like, we're gonna try to be as real as we can. And you speak about real, and I think that seriously, like, who could argue with me then, if me being real, that it wasn't for me? You know what I'm saying? That part
Yeah,
of it
yeah.
wasn't for me.
Yeah, I don't think like it's like I heard Lucha Parra talking about this movie. I never watched it, but he talks about a guy that was always doing everything right, and he was a painter, and then he works really hard to buy a bike so he could keep like go more places and work, and then eventually he buys this bike and he gets his bike stolen the day he buys it. So he just kind of like pops off and goes crazy, and now he's stealing bikes, and then he goes to jail, and now like they're telling his kids like, yeah, este era un pinche ratero de bikes. You know what I mean? And it kind of canceled out like all the hard working he did like before that. You know what I mean? And to be honest, it's not really fair. I don't think that cancels it out. You know what I mean? I just think like one mistake shouldn't fucking be like whatever or
Yeah,
what decision. You know what I mean? So I think that I mean that's how I see it. You know what I mean? I don't care who fucking doesn't like it or not. At the end of the day, like I say, I'm a YouTuber. Dog. I'm not politicky. I'm not playing your
yeah,
game. If you
yeah,
wanna come watch my channel, you gotta watch it with the lenses that I'm a YouTuber. And I'm not. I don't care about you. You know, especially in America, where, like I go to these podcasts and they always mention like the snitching stuff and like how is it for like the cartels and this and that. I'm like, bro, in Mexico we use that for our advantage. You know, you might tell somebody, yeah, go snitch on this guy, or you use the government to your like to to rob the other guys or to catch the other guys. So in Mexico, it's not really something very, very like, oh, unless you do like, I don't know, unless you really like betray or something. But everybody knows how it is, you know, in the cartel, and it's not really like in America where it's like, oh, you're a snitch, you're banned for life, or you're scarred, you know, stuff like that. So
Mm,
I think it's harder for understand to like the American side how like you mentioned Vicente. I mean, he even wrote a book. You know what I mean?
yeah,
He not only told in the office, he told the whole world about it. You know what I mean? And you see the
and
Sinaloa cartel mostly like being very like flamboyant about this stuff. You know, you see their
yeah,
cemeteries with their big ass cemeteries, big ass houses. They're the extravagant ones. They're the like the mostly like in social media. You know what I mean? Los más ruidosos, as we say,
yeah,
because I mean, you have people that have told in other cartels too, but most of the families like Jalisco, Tijuana, they're very like very low key. You know, they're not known. You don't really, you know what I mean? I feel like that,
yeah,
and I think like in the Sinaloa kind of broke that way in of just like being on social media and recording everything, and not only like narco videos like back in the Blog del Narco area where they would send
yeah,
messages. You know? Now it's just like recording their parties and their luxuries and shit like that.
yeah. No, absolutely. You know what? As you mentioned that, like that was a great analogy too. So that you, we'll admit that we stole it from Luis Chaparro, then, okay, El Pintor, right? But how do you feel like, you know, being mixed in, right? Because like I don't know, like me and my brother, right? I don't know. Sometimes I'm more American, tomorrow I'll be more Mexican, um, and I think that the ones that make a lot of noise are siempre van a hacerlo like the American side, right? That culture, because like you said, you know, if you know or heard of me and my brother, and you understand that part of it, that you're gonna be like, no, well, I know the game, and for them to get there, then I could imagine, right? Like you
Hmm.
don't even question that. But on the American side, you know, they're like they're delusional, right? And it comes with a lot of hate, and especially because of the culture, right? They a lot of people think that they could come, tell stories. You see all these fake people, and they glamorize all the stuff, and um, like to lift themselves up. But what do you think when it comes to like the culture, especially with the with the gang culture, bro? Because
I
it's
think
hard with
I
them,
think I think it's because like in America, you don't really deal with the cops as in Mexico, where you like bribe them, you give them money. Like they openly work for the cartel, kind of like, or even if you don't have to be cartel, where you know you get pulled over, you give them some money, and you kind of you don't see the cops as like black and white. You know what I mean? Like obviously they're cops and they would fuck with you. Like you don't trust them, but you know there's always a way. You know what I mean? Whereas in America, like you're fucked in America, like you get caught, you're fucked with. You're not gonna bribe yourself out. Like these cops are not, or, you know what I mean? At least I'm not on that level. I think. Um, so I think maybe that's why they have more hatred towards like people that like inform or tell or whatever. And whereas in Mexico, you kind of understand that it's kind of like survival. So you know what I mean? You kind of understand you're gonna. That's why you get to read your enemies of footsteps. Like, oh, he's probably gonna snitch because he's been fucked. You know what I mean? So I don't.
check my wallet.
That's where I think it becomes in a gray area. And I see that my homie Lupe, he wrote if snitching was on in Mexico, every Chapo and the Beltrán go to war. Snitching is not okay in any cartel. Chapo had a
Oh
cousin
my
whacked for
God,
telling. Nah, I think
Lupe,
like even that.
Lupe.
I mean I'm sure you know more, but I kind of want to tell Lupe about this. Like that wasn't even because of snitching. That was like I said, it's more betrayal. You know what I mean? One guy betrayed the other one, or I don't know if you can correct me or if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure you know more about this, Jay.
Well, that's funny because I've been like Lupe is a fan, really. Okay, so he's up and down. One day he likes you, and one day he doesn't. And he's from Tijuana, San Diego area, and he was one of those people that was in a life, and he's a gangster that did a snitch. One of those guys. Um, but it's stupid. Like snitches always like when we talk about that, no excuses. I told you already. Yeah, that's part of it. The reason why they went to war is because he gave up one of the brothers. It was personal to someone who
Yeah, that's
had
what I'm
all the
saying.
power.
It's
Like,
more on the personal side. Yeah, it's not really because of like the organization. Like, oh, he told or nothing. It was personal. You know what I mean? It
pero
had. It,
¿qué hacemos, güey? ¿Qué hacemos cuando dicen pendejadas así? Like, neta, I don't
no,
even
but
know,
yeah,
bro.
it's que mi compa
You
Lupe, he's from San Diego. That's what I'm saying. That's more the American culture. You know what I mean? I think that's more of the American thing of like snitching and all that. They don't really understand the details. Like in that case that I mentioned. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and Lupe,
yeah,
salutes to you, Lupe. But like, once they have meetings to sit down and tell their sons, hey, bro, it's okay. Handle your
Yeah, they're
business. Go
planning.
talk.
They're
Once you
planning on
do that,
switching. They're
Papa, it
planning
seems
on.
okay to me, bro. It seems like it's okay.
Yeah,
Well, well,
especially the bosses are doing it. So
well,
it's not the same as like the culture in America. It's definitely not the same in Mexico. You know what I
it's
mean?
because it's because mira, let me just tell you. One day, not in, like I hope you guys understand. No disrespect to Shy to you, but I got stories, right? Real, imagine, just imagine the other side of the stuff that I knew, and the stuff that I was asked to do. Okay,
Tell
just
us right
imagine.
now. Tell us everything.
No, but I'm gonna tell you. But that's not an excuse why I did what I did. I did what was best for me. And I'll tell you
Hmm.
one thing. It's real simple. They always say, right? It's fun and games until the bunny got the gun, right? Shit. Once I got that, I had to create my own gun. I like, man, like I gotta decide. And there's no, like, people forget, bro. There's no guarantee for me to make it from Mexico, make it out alive. You know, like I didn't do it from Mexico. With agents watching over me. Like I had to risk my life just for the chance to even snitch, if that makes any
Hmm.
sense. Like people
And
overlook that sometimes.
the people that know the stories, we know that Mayo and Chapo have been turning people in forever. You know what I mean? They've been working with the DA with like forever since 2001, I think, something like that, where Chapo sat down with them, and that's how he got rid of the
Nah, since
Arianos. You know what I mean?
1998. I think it was 1998, bro.
All these
He
guys
got
that
signed
I've
with them
known
first
from
in
like the
1998,
all these guys
99
from the
around that.
Ariano cartel that
Yeah.
are coming out now and stuff like that, and that I've gone to talk to them, they were like, yeah, we weren't getting any deals because the DA had already made a deal with Chapo about taking us out. So a lot of those guys weren't even offered deals. You know what I mean? A lot of those guys were just getting years, and they just wanted to get rid of them
They wish
because
that
Chapo
they
was.
they wish that they could talk at that point.
Nah, yeah, one of them told me, like, I even asked him, like, hey, what kind of deal would I get if I got something offered? And then when he read it, he was like, oh, fuck this, they're just trying to fuck me, like. And the cop told him, like, I think, I don't know, Steve Duncan, I don't know which one, but one of them told him, like, yeah, we're just trying to get rid of you guys. There's no deal with you guys. You know what I mean? We're already made a deal with somebody else. So, it's different. Even Oakland
Oh my
Leaks
God.
way. You know what
With
I
all due
mean?
respect,
Even Oakland Leaks, I mentioned, like,
yeah.
if I'm in his shoes way, and I'm trying to, like, these guys are taking my shit, and I'm taking it, like, I'm between like espada y la pared, basically. You're gonna have to do what are you gonna have to do, whether other people understand it or not. You know what I mean? That's why I don't like to judge way, because you've never been in that position. You know what I mean? It's hard to be in that position of somebody else. And I mean, you can always say, like, he should have done, whatever, or like we see Menchito, he took he went to court. I think he took he went to trial, no, or something like that. He didn't want to take the deal or something like that. You got those people too, man. But then I think you put in the balance, like, okay, but this guy won't get to see his family in like 40 years. You know what I mean? This guy, he's already got a fucking podcast going on. So, you know what I mean? Like I mean, it depends on the what do you call it? En la pesa que la quieras medir. You know what I mean? It depends what you're trying to be in life, what you're trying to get at. You want your legacy to be a real one forever, or you want to be a real one with your family and be there on Christmas with your daughters and sons. You know what I mean? It's both. I think they're respected. The both are respectful. You know what I mean? I don't feel like I'm nobody to judge whether, like, oh, he should have done this or he should have done that. I'm not in those shoes, dog. You know what I mean? It's hard. I've been in hard situations myself where other people would not understand the decisions you took. You know what I mean? So that's why I think I don't like to. I stay neutral, and I mean, there's some, like, I've said it before. There's some shit that Oakland has done where I'm like, oh, he still wants to go into war. He's doing some sneaky stuff where he's like, but he's not a YouTuber. He's a guy that's still on a full on war, and he uses YouTube as a weapon.
He's an
That's kind of how I see it.
active participant.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Whereas me, like, I don't even want to be looked at as a journalist. You know what I mean? I don't even want to be looked at as a reporter, bro. I'm an entertainer. It's called El Bordo Entertainment. You're here to, if you want to watch, you want to, like, like I said, you want to get some news out of shit, you go watch Fox 6 or something. If you want to entertain yourself, you turn on Netflix. I'm Netflix. You know what I mean? You turn on and entertain. You're not gonna, I'm not trying to inform you on what's going on with the border and shit.
Right.
Like,
Go
I don't
holler at
really
Luis
care if you
Chaparro
know
for
now.
all that
You know
shit.
what I mean? Yeah, I
Right.
don't really care if you don't. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to get you to tell. I just want to be creative with the way I tell my stories, and then I like to use reality because rawness is already a a good juicy story about it, and that's it. You know what I mean? Other than that, I don't judge what anybody did. We got a cool, like I said, I look at my life as a movie. I look at your life as a movie, and I know Jay has a sick ass movie way, so I want to talk to him. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I don't, I'm not nobody to judge.
Yeah, he clapped himself out the channel, but I'm sure he'll be back. Um,
Oh, okay.
but yeah, so guys, if you're looking for facts, all right, this ain't this is Netflix. If you're looking for facts, you go talk to Johnny Mitchell. I'm just kidding. Yeah, let's
Yeah, I
talk
got
about
some
the
shit.
writing.
Yeah, people don't really fuck with Johnny, man. I mean, I do because um, I'm not. He's not gonna get me to say something I won't
Oh,
say. You know
absolutely.
what I mean? I already know what I can say or cannot. I'm not gonna let him lie on my name or anything. And he was pretty transparent with what we did. I don't know if you saw the video, Murder
No,
City.
I did. I saw the trip that y'all took out there, and or the trip that he took out there with you and Ed. It was great. Um, it was even if it was just you and Ed with a fucking camcorder, that shit would have been crazy. You know what I'm saying? Again, I
Yeah,
give
yeah.
it up to Johnny too. Johnny's doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? I have my issues with it, but I'm not in YouTube for all of that drama and all of that bullshit. And the way you said it, he ain't gonna make you say no shit that you don't want to say. That's like these dudes
Nobody
that go
can,
on
bro.
Vlad.
Nobody can. I'm fucking 35. Nobody
Yeah,
can make
yeah.
me say something.
These
You know what I
guys go
mean?
on Vlad. They say some shit like, "Papa, that was you, bro. You tricked yourself into that situation." You know what I'm
You're
saying?
weak minded ass talking your ass out loud for those fucking 15 grand that he offer you or some shit like that. You know what I mean? Or
Yes,
some shit. Now you're all fucking arrepentido because you can't shut your mouth up. You know what I mean? You
exactly.
gotta learn the parameters of what you can say or you cannot say. You know what I mean? And I think as the street guys, we know how to talk like that just off the rip, just because that's how you talk. You know?
Right, right,
And
right.
so that's why I'm like I've seen all these shows. I've been a fan of podcasting and YouTube forever, man. So I kind of study everything, and I'm like, why? I don't get the hate that Black gets. I don't get it. Like, why does he get the hate when it's the guys talking about themselves?
Absolutely.
You know what? It's funny because I apologize, man. Me corté. I'm on the road, but it's funny that someone like they'll blame everyone else for the stuff they do. You get me? You know, like whatever I come on and say, sometimes I touch out like, man, I shouldn't have said this, but that's my fault. You know, but
Yeah, but you
they'll
realize
blame
you don't
everyone
blame
else.
the interviewer. You know what I mean? You know you're like, la cagué, güey," you know what
Yeah, shy. You led me onto that.
I mean?
Hey, but you know what? I want to make it clear because se me cortó. Like in some of the stuff you were saying, like I want to make it clear, like Bordo's not like vouching for anything. We're talking about like knowledge and facts about cartel stuff or backstories. And I know Lupe is always like, oh, let me teach you, let me know, and I always be like, let me see your credentials, and let's just Chapo Mayo on, and maybe he's Chapo on the line, right? With maybe Lupe's Chapo,
Somebody
like
get
bro.
Chapo and Mayo on the line right now. Give them the
Yeah,
link. Let's get them
and
on the panel.
mira, no es por nada, man. I no me gusta ser así porque neta I'm not like that. But man, sometimes I'll be like, look, bro. One thing I do know is my life. I don't know anyone else's life. You get me? And my life was that since I was desde morro, right? Like, and sometimes when people salen con sus pendejadas, bro, like it upsets me, like. But then again, if that was the case, right? I paying attention to every comment. Um, I'd be here forever, but I think it's la moda, no? And I just want to
No,
make
but I
sure I
mean,
read the same.
I
What?
mean, I don't, I just it's different. Like I said, in Mexico, when you grow up like that, you don't really that's not the most hatred. That's not the most like it's much you. It's harder to say that you rob people than actually that you rat it. You know what I mean? You're most hated if you're like Robert, eres un ratero, and that's like that's why we say like in American culture they glorify robbing. Way I never understood that they made rap songs about robbing and doing all this stuff. And I'm not gonna say it doesn't happen in Mexico, but it's not well looked up. You're not gonna brag about robbing. You're not gonna be bragging that you did this and that. You actually hide that kind of shit. So I mean, to me that it's like I said, it's different of cultures. Way it's just
But you
different.
know what it is? I then now my goal. Like there's two sides of it, right? When I speak about the culture, I'm gonna say because I'm gonna get real right here. Here's what bothers me and like about the culture, right? Because I'm just being the streets, right? Is that you have some dumb, the worst, más pendejo, make up these street codes in the street, ¿verdad?
Yeah.
Right? The old dude, the one that can't get it, robbing school. I'll take your stuff, and then next thing you know, they find that as an excuse. because when it comes to that, right? Oh, rob anyone, and then they're robbing each other. What do you mean? You've been that's what you preach on. You get me? But like
Mm-hmm.
in Mex, let's be honest, man. You show me un secuestrador out loud. They don't exist. Los secuestradores are calladitos, nomás los palillos were probably one of the most famous groups. Pero, pero like no one's gonna co-sign for you. ¿Me entiendes? Si andas de
Fuck no.
secuestrador.
Nope.
You know, like it has to be
Wait,
that
what was that
mentira.
word that you used? I didn't catch it.
Secuestrador.
What's that?
Kidnapper. It's kidnapper.
Oh,
You know, and it's funny because we have a story where there's an individual, right? In my story that he was it's this is what's weird to me. His name is Saul Rodriguez, right? He kidnapped my brother. He was an informant. He was working with the police, and he kidnapped my brother. Then kidnapped one of my workers, and he kidnapped over 46 people, right?
Damn.
Abuelitas, niños, mataron a seis, right? And it's weird because then I'll see all the gangsters do say stuff about him, be like, oh, now the gangster, you have a problem with the dude that's real gangster, the one you preach, you know, like that's weird, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you're preaching. You get me? You're
Mm-hmm.
preaching rob and all money over everything. You're preaching, um, fuck the ops, and you're preaching, I'm the boss. Yeah, when you see it as an example, now you want to talk about it, which is weird, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think it. Like I said, it's the difference in cultures, man. Like it's first off, it's a different board game. Where you're not a border baby, but like I said, you kind of grow up in both sides and know very well both sides. You know, so you, like I said, that part where out here you don't really get to mess with police like that. I think that's what sets up more the snitching part and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Because it's not really like that. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just like those different mundos, but at the end of the day, that different story. But I will tell you, like, you know, like we're going back to the like gang culture and all that, like I see some of the stuff going on online, and one thing I will say, like for those real dudes, you know how it's real easy for them if they're like real, like for them not to cross the line, ¿verdad? Because they've been trained like that their whole life, ¿me entiendes? Like
Hmm.
um, it's easy. Like they're not gonna do no disrespectful stuff. They're not gonna say nothing. They demand respect. Um, it's like walking eggshells. But that doesn't really change unless they change it, right? Like someone to be like, oh no, I'm gonna step out of line and do what I said because they're under strict rules, all the time. That's their culture.
Hmm.
And sometimes I feel like I see it like I know growing up in the culture, I feel like that was the main thing to me. Like I feel like if I wasn't that like
Aparte, bro, like you're not gonna compare the las ganancias way of gang banging to the millions of cartel money way. You know what I mean? Like a lot of these guys, like if like they don't got nothing outside way, so they don't mind spending the time in jail way. La neta, you know what I mean? They don't got nothing
mhm,
going on like that outside, or even if they do, it's not as much as what cartel money. You know what I mean?
yeah. So my
So
brother, Batman, aka Batman, my brother, he's Batman of the um of me, my brother, but he likes to say all these things like you can't be both. You can't be a gangster and you can't be a hustler. It just they don't go hand in hand,
no way.
and that's the culture. But sabes que, you know what? What do you think from your knowledge? The term that cartel is used and thrown out so much lately. Everyone works for the cartel and everyone's part of the cartel. Me
I
río de eso,
sold
¿me
a
entiendes?
nickel bag for a Mexican dude, man. I was plugged.
I mean, I mean that's kind of something that pushes me to explain this shit on podcast too, way because like I was saying, Chai, like there's a lot of freelancing out there. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you might move some shit for a guy that works for the cartel, but you're not really cartel unless you're doing everything with them. You know what I mean? And even them, they work with like other people too. You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah. So the term is weird because antes no se escuchaba así, right? And sometimes well, my brother gets mad because I don't know how to explain this very well, but and I try to say it. I said it somewhere that the cartel's not as big as people think. You know what I mean?
Nah, it's not
Todos los
like that.
demás, toda la gente demás, you know what I'm saying? Los asociados, toda la
I
gente,
mean, and
pero
there's families that don't even want to be around que les digan del cartel because that word just being
yeah,
put on you, it's you know what I mean? It's una calentura too. So I
yeah,
think
pero
I think
ahorita
if
es la
you're
moda.
yes, pero I mean that comes for more for to be honest, the way I see it is if if you're the fighting part of the cartel, you know, the cuidando la plaza, the comandos negros and all that, you kind of put that propaganda out of like you're winning. So you kind of
Mm,
like you know what I mean?
El
You
Comando
kind of
Negro is one of my favorite corridos too.
I mean, so all that way. I mean, I think it's just like war marketing, basically. You know what I mean? Just letting people. I mean, I had this conversation with one of my friends that I had un teniente del ejército. I always
Yeah,
tell him like, hey, how come in the news there's like shootouts and there's like 18 sicarios dead and only one soldier like shot in the leg? And he's like, well, you don't want to lower the morale on the other troops. So even if you had like three soldiers shot or whatever, you're not gonna let everybody know because you want to keep the morale high. Like you don't want people to think like, oh, they actually got us. And it's the same thing as the corridos and all that. You know, if you're the guys that are in charge of fighting and like pushing the line and all that, you're gonna want this noise and this wave created that you're winning. You know, so just
yeah,
and if anybody's trying to join, you're gonna be like, oh, I think he's winning because his corridos are doper. You know what I mean? There's people that think like
el,
that way for stupid as
yeah,
it sounds. You know?
el más rido. So let me ask you a question, Bordo, and maybe when I do your interview with you, we could talk a little bit more about this, go a little bit, elaborate on this. So I get a lot of heat from people, that because también law enforcement has a big thing where everything's cartel, and I always tell them like, nah, that's not it. Pero
Well, it
what do
helps
you
them. It helps them get the resources. No, if they say like, if they tell their bosses, "Yeah, we're fighting the cartel," I bet they give them more money. You know?
Yeah, I think, but they have a good reason. But
Mhm.
what do you think when I try to separate? And maybe I say this because it depends on I'm not being politically correct, and maybe you could help me out because I do respect like your calm nature, bro. Like is when people get offended when people bring up La Barbie or bring up Pacino, and hear me out. I know them. I was around them, and I'm like, nah, they were not hustlers. You get me? Like to me, being in that, we're just on a different level. Like gente como ellos,
I know what you're
you
saying.
know,
I know what you're saying. Tú
like
chambeabas y esos güeyes eran malandro, eran pistoleros.
pistoleros, güey. Y la
Yeah,
gente no entiende que la gente que los admira a ellos, with all due respect, mira, que matones, pistoleros con huevos, 100%, ¿me entiendes?
yeah, yeah,
Pero
yeah.
they want to put them in the same thing como un jefe, like the other type of jefes. And I'm like, mira,
Yeah,
the last thing I
like
heard,
a Chino Antras is not a Polo Ochoa, not near close.
exactly, or ponle que como this guy's name, bro? Con todo respeto, like the Logan boy, Logan Square dude, um, Popeye,
Which one? Who?
Popeye, right? Popeye. What was his name? The one that died from the Adriano Felix.
Oh, like you mean like David Barone and them?
Like David Baron, like without due respect, like just let's take it back. It's like David Baron being, a happy of the, of the brothers. You get me? And I
Yeah,
try to
no.
explain like the difference, and people get offended, and then sometimes I get mad. I'm like, bro, like, and I say this in the wrong way, but just to kind of get my point across that, like, if without, porque gente no entiende que al fin del día es respeto a todos, right? Mi
Yeah,
respeto
but
a
they're still
todos.
kind of like a chain of command, no?
Sí, so they'll be mad. Either way, when I was around, esos güeyes eran como, ten güey, ve por las sodas.
Hey, English, bro. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Like not no disrespect, but like, damn,
Sorry, hold
it's
on. Let me
different.
translate. He said those guys were the guys that you told go get me a fucking coke. All right, there you go. Now he's gonna go in English from there, yeah.
Yeah, well, not well. You said it in a more derogatory way, but you know what I mean. I mean, they're not like very like low level, but they're the guys. I mean, up to this day, I know some dudes that you might hear in corridos and stuff, and whenever they have like gatherings together, they're the ones serving the food, not because like
No,
somebody
no,
went out and be like, hey, wait, tú vas a ser el sirviente. Nah, it's just like you kind of
nah.
know where you stand on
Respeto,
the Es
yeah, like,
respeto, exactly. You kind of know
yeah.
what you're doing. Like, oh, ahí están los jefes. Ah, órale, no, pues hay que acá. You know what I mean? You start doing your thing because you know your level. You know?
That's exactly what I mean. Like, that's what I'm trying to, like, man, bro, you put it to real simple. I don't know how to explain that. Uh, if I was around, I never knew, but they let me know because where I sat, you get me? And how what's the difference between me and everyone else? Does that make sense? Pero respeto, I never heard someone, I wait, was, tú eres una pinche, you know? Like, them dudes never looked at me and, hey, wait, you're soft. Like, nah. Like,
Nah, porque tú eres el de la
yeah, like,
feria. You're the money maker. You're on that side. You're on that table, which is what matters in the cartel.
and I try to explain to them because to me, I'm like, damn, if these young kids out there, if all these dudes are trying to inspire to be gangsters, so like I'll go on like these dudes that the gangster interviewers, right? Like even I haven't got there yet, but I see all these cholo podcasts, right? And they're always speaking about the politics of the gangsters, right?
You breaking
Damn,
up, man. You
it's
got you
breaking
got
up. Yeah.
that wish you had Wi-Fi
Like
shit
just say if
going
it
on.
was a cholo to cholo, right? I
Start
mean a
over,
real.
Jay. We didn't hear nothing.
Okay, I apologize. So you see all these cholo podcasters, right?
Uh huh.
And I don't know them. I'm gonna assume that they're real gangster, right? And they're always talking about the politics, about snitching, about the hood, and about this and that. So I want to go on there and I'm gonna challenge them to be like, okay, bro, up to where is the gangster? Because you're sitting around your homies politicking about that gangster life. Now, is it okay for you to tell them to your face that you choose him over your mom and over your girl over your kids? And I'm
That's
gonna
what
tell
I
you,
said.
like,
That's what I
if
said
I were to ask
earlier.
that
Wait, that's what
question,
I said earlier. Like, do you want to do like when you get these guys that get offered deals or something? It's like you basically saying like, do you want to keep it real with the gang or do you want to keep it real with your family? You know what I mean?
yeah, but here I'm not even saying I'm not even using me as an excuse. I'm talking in the word of like in the world of gangsters. Before you snitch, before anything, okay? Just because they talking about it and they're all grown men, they all got kids, right? So my whole thing to me is like I want to like because I do prison talks too, and I'm always like, look beside you, gangsters. You know what I'm saying? You tell
Hmm.
them that you're gonna choose him, right? Before you before you choose your family, right? Say it because that's what you guys are saying. And if one of you guys do that, do me a favor. The real gangsters, when you get back to handle your business, because you know he's full of shit. He's lying to you to your face. You get me? Because a real man will never choose that, and will keep it real. You get me? But they have this code where you have to say the politically correct thing. You get me? And it's a joke to me, bro. Like,
Yeah.
all right, you know?
I mean that's kind of what I enjoy of my position way where I get to be on these like cholo podcasts and I don't have to abide by those rules. I like I always say I'm a paisa 100%. You know what I mean? I grew up in TJ and all this stuff. So like, if you invite me, you already know what I'm going to talk about, and we're not going to agree. I went in with a Homegirl Negras podcast, and I got a lot of shit like, oh, you don't talk about this on camera and all this shit. I was like, hey, wait, I talk about whatever fuck I want, way. I'm a paisa. I don't, you know what I mean? With all due respect, way, mi respetos para todos. Obviously you got your rules. You can't talk about it, but let me do my thing. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, they could go start a fucking channel. Go start your own fucking channel.
Yeah.
Say
that's
what you want to
I
say.
tell
Tell your
that, yeah, like.
stories.
Like
Well,
you're not
yeah,
gonna
because
tell me what part of my life I can't talk about, dog. You know what I mean?
you know what? That's a good example. But I would tell you, like, I have a list of like things like that, like basically tests and examples to be like, then stop selling these kids, bro. All these people that want to see you, and and stop selling them that BS. Like, let's keep it real. How about that? You get me?
Yeah,
Like
and I
let's
mean,
keep it
I, I
100.
I've been around some of those people too. Like even Lupe knows what I'm talking about. I've been around some people in LA where they're talking about how like their money making ways are kind of dying down a little bit. You know what I mean? They're not as some people like they don't look at them as they used to. Some guys from Florence were telling me how a lot of guys they're like from the hood but they move more in a paisa way because they just rather make money. They don't want to deal with the politics. You know what I mean? They
Yeah,
just want to make money. So
yeah.
they were
That
telling me how this kind of like this little wave is going on where you see like some homies that are not even tatted, but
yeah.
they don't really
The,
deal with the politics. They're more into the money making.
Yeah, but and then until what happens, and I speak about this in my class, like until they get to the prison and the dude that hates, like the lupus in the prisons. Ah, so you want to be making money, huh? You know what I mean? And then
Right.
that's where you have the problems. You get me? But I will tell you something. Like for instance, this little comment Lupe does, right? This is the difference between like people like that. He'll say that shit about my family, about me, ask me about, you know what, why don't you talk about all your dead homies that got killed for nothing? And all the people you killed and shot up for nothing, for being a damn soldier. Why don't you talk about that? Or why don't we talk about the thousands of families that lost loved ones, even the rich ones? We could name them. ¿Sí o no, Bordo? We talk
Yeah,
about all the big people. Que los mataron rico. Oh, that's cool. But snitching and, putting your family at risk, and, that ain't cool. Bro, your family's at risk when you're in the game, but you wouldn't know about it. And Bordo, ¿sí o no? You
anyway,
in
like
the
I say,
cartel
like
life.
I mean, you see it with Vicente, where he's somewhere out there living his best life at a beach somewhere, with his millions and all
Pero,
that
pero,
stuff. So
pero look, I'm here, bro. I'm alive. I'm
that's
talking
what,
to
no, no,
you.
no. That's what I'm saying. You see it where it's like like I said, that's the way I see it. Cause like you stay real to your family, like your immediate family, your kids, your wife, or you stay real to the game way.
Yeah,
When
but what I'm saying is because he makes a comment says snitching will get your family killed, and I'm like, bro,
oh,
you
oh,
killed
okay.
you
Nah,
killed
not
for
really way.
nothing.
Not really way. To be
But
honest,
here,
it's not like that anymore way. You know what I mean?
but he's making remarks about my dad. So listen, I'm gonna tell you something. My dad probably was the biggest gangster. That's what he died that way. That's what he chose. He chose that life instead of his family. But the thing that gets me mad is like, here's this dude who killed someone, killed two people, went to prison, left his family. He didn't give a fuck. He asked his mom to send him money while he was in there. Le quitaba. And he talks about it like he's like that. Like, oh, you want it's called the criminal life, bro. You're gonna lose something. You're gonna lose your family either, in jail, or you're gonna lose your family because of the life. Because no one ever talks about your family being kidnapped and you having to pay ransom. Because I tell you, like, I paid $15 million in ransom in my time hustling. So, you imagine that, you know?
Yeah, I think if that those are other leagues way. Like if you've never been around those leagues, it's hard to get an understanding and make a good opinion about it. You know what I mean?
So like, no excuse. I'm gonna tell you, like, look, man, the sacrifice I made for my family, and me and my brother made for my family, man, it came at a very high cost. You know what I'm saying? By for sure. But guess what? At least I had the balls to do it. You know what I'm saying? At least I wasn't scared of some dude. You know what I'm saying? Telling me, what I should do, what I should. I never been that dude. And
Hmm.
I'm gonna tell you, I'd rather had risked my life going against the biggest jugglers in the world than stay a victim and stay a prison to something I wasn't. And I stand for that. You get me? Before anything. Before any
Anyway,
of
at the
these
end of the
dudes.
day, way it's kind of weird that you choose jail over free time. I'm not like I said. If I get the whole if you did the crime, do your time way, because there's some people that actually do like. There's some fools that don't get out for anything, and or they're not even arrested, and they're looking for to snitch way. I've seen those dudes too. Like they're not even wanted, but they're in the offices begging to fucking be informants. I think it's very different. The circumstances is different, different personalities and stuff. But at the end of the
Yeah,
day, way like it's survival. Way. It's survival, and the cartel. That's what it is. It's all about money and
yeah.
survival. And if that's the way out, you get to keep your money or whatever. This and that way, we fuck it way. You know what I mean? That's the
Well,
game. At the
yeah,
end.
yeah, that's true. Because then it got into a way where it's like, damn, bro, like the money's not even good enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the
Mhm.
like, what like what happened? You get me? Like, we're good. We're doing good. What happened? But honestly, I'll tell you something. But the life is gonna eat at you, no matter what. Any criminal life. And I'm gonna tell you, like, what I'm not sure what you think. You're from my respect with your knowledge. On both sides. But like, I'm gonna say it, then people get offended. But like, and I'm only saying right now because these guys like to make those little comments, right? But bro, like me and my brother, after Griselda Blanco, I don't even think she was that. They were like, bro, we were the biggest drug traffickers in the country.
I heard from
I'm
many
not,
people that she wasn't that big.
yeah, she wasn't, but I just say for the sakes, but like when I say that, bro, like I say it in the USA, all right, in the country. I don't at the time. I don't say it like thinking about it. Like I know who we were. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Now there's a lot of big dudes. The only thing making the difference that was there's a lot of dudes that were way bigger than me. You know that. We could talk about all the people that were like doing it for a longer period of time, but when it came to being successful in the country, it they needed 15 of me at a time. You get me? Like smaller dudes for them to be, and it's like I met some of these biggest some of the biggest drug traffickers that you hear about that used to tell me and my brother that they were jealous of us and our business. Imagine that. And and it's weird because when they start talking to me about the rules, and I look, bro, I was brought up in the life since the age of 7. I didn't know nothing else but the life. That's it. And then they want to tell me about the life. You get me? Because they decided
Hmm.
to join the gang and go kill, and gangbang, kill innocent people. And listen to someone, that's been locked up since they were 15, 16 in prison, telling them what to do. Like that should like be like, bro. At least one thing's for sure. I'm telling you that no money in the world, no damn street cred, or que se gana uno de decir, sí, me chingué 2 personas, pero like you hate your life, bro. We give up our life in prison. I'm gonna tell you, when I real talk, when I started doing my time, I was locked up, and I never felt as free as I was when I was locked up, bro.
Hmm.
Of course, your family weighs on you, but I felt free to be like, man, who fucking cares? I don't gotta worry about this no more, like because it's a different type of.
Se está cortando un poquito, creo.
Yeah, no, but it's just a different type of pressure.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Like I say, like
But like
I met a bunch of like also like some big dudes, and at the end of the day, it's always different stories, a lot of gray areas, a lot of all that way. So especially when you find out like the rules and all that is bullshit, where like nobody really follows that shit, and you know what I mean. Everybody's just out for their own. At the end of the day, when the cartel and the gangs way, they both out there for their own way. You know what I mean? I mean, you got like El Money Sign Sway, where the good rapper that they killed him just because he wasn't trying to like do the rutina with them. You know, it's like it's different politics way, but at the end of the day, in the criminal life, you're out for yourself. I think you know this way.
yeah,
Can I?
I
Can
just
I?
said I did.
Go
I
ahead,
think.
Jay. I want to
Go
ask a
ahead.
question after you say what you got to say, Jay.
I just did a reaction channel, and people think I come for the like people. I'm not coming for that. I'm just speaking about like reality. That's what I said. Like, bro, it's get it by any means, right? Everyone's about themselves. All of a sudden, you expect devils and fucking to
Hey,
do the
wait,
right thing and think for
it's
someone else.
crazy. It's crazy that people expect outlaws to follow rules. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
that's weird to me.
No mames, güey, pues si somos malandros, perro, what the fuck are you talking about, güey? What rules, dog? You know what I
You're
mean?
right, like bro, you brought up to break every rule, and then you're like follow the rules. You
Somos
know what I mean?
malandros. That's what we will say, güey. Hey, güey, somos malandros, perro. What are you talking about? Like, you know what I mean? Like, obviously there's like moral rules. You no, you don't fuck with people's family. Shit like that. It's just out of respect, and that's kind of like the culture we grow. You got those, but other than like, don't shit like that, bro. I'm probably sure you're familiar with this. I know like a whole bunch of group of friends, way that they do business with each other, but they be stealing from each other too, way, and that doesn't stop them from making business with each other. Like, oh, este puto me robó 45 de estos, güey. Fuck this one. Then next week
That's
he's
the
like, hey,
shit
güey,
I
ahí
don't
tengo otros 40
understand.
para pagártelos. You know what I mean? Like, it's está bien loco esa madre, güey.
La
I don't
vida,
get that
güey.
shit. I never get that part. Like I even thought about it with you. I heard the story about you getting snatched up by them cops, and they had your own homies questioning you. And it's like, Papas, I might feel a way about you feeling that way about me after we get it all cleared up. Like, what the fuck are we talking about here? Because I've been in
Yeah,
situations where dudes were hustling, right? But these were also dudes that partied and got high too. And then they lose something being careless. And then they looking at everybody around them and shit. And it's like, Papa, you making your own mess over here, bro.
yeah, way. Like I said, it's malandro, way. You can't expect outlaws to actually follow rules, way. We're obviously breaking rules for some reason. So to me, that logic was never really, you know what I mean? It never really made sense.
I got a better one. Cuando te dicen you weren't built for that life, right? And it's funny because in the back of my mind, I'm like, bro, if I wasn't built for that life, you by far would be built for it. But the only difference between me and you is that I could admit the truth. Like,
Hey, well,
like
like to be honest, they can't say you weren't. You made it to the big leagues there. If you're a basketball player, you're an NBA player. Way probably like shooting next to LeBron, basically. La neta, way.
uh,
In those leagues, that's what you were doing. Way. So just because now you fucking fucked up, they can be like, nah, you were never made for the NBA. Way. No mames, way.
nah.
I was there.
I
Way.
always tell them, I always tell them, bro, it's like you telling Steph Curry how to shoot the ball. That's what I
Yeah.
try to explain it to him. Like, all right, bro. Now you know what? The championships don't count anymore. No. But that,
Yeah,
what?
I
Again,
mean,
that
yeah,
comes
yeah.
from a place of hate. You know why? Let's keep it real. Like, I
Porque
don't
no se
look like.
atreven.
Yeah, no, no. Besides them being pendejos, right? But a lot of times it's like me and my brother don't look the part that they expected. You get me?
Hmm.
But I get the same things now. Like, people ask me all the time, was that Mayo? Like, or is that really Chapo, or is that Mayo? Because they expect something. They expect the guy to look like the gangster thug, like Lupe.
Yeah, yeah.
And then they find out that Lupe is a joke, and it's like, you know, you know what I'm saying? That's the thing, though. It's like, and the only reason why I'm setting it straight is I always say, like, look, man, I'm not the gangster, guys. I'll let everyone else be the gangster.
Well, the
But
thing
if
is,
you're
they don't know these people, so they idolize. They make a character in their mind that's not really sometimes fucking that goes with the guy way. You know what I mean? Like,
Pero
for
que
some,
no,
huh?
Bordo, pero que no. Let's just, like, I'm not saying I'm putting you on blast. You don't have to comment on this. Like, for real, if we had a T-shirt, they should put my name on it and put, like, a drug dealer's dreams, bro. For real, because I live that shit. I live that criminal world.
Pues sí,
All
güey. It's
of
just
them
like,
dudes, all around the
eh,
world.
yeah. That's. I mean, that's the part I was saying. Where I recognize the realness. Like, just because like whatever went left after you reach the top way doesn't mean that you didn't reach the top way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, pero sabes que what they wanted me, and I don't care about it, but I'm speaking about this for the smart kids out there. Like, what they wanted was Tony Montana to die at the end. I'm like,
Hmm.
nah, not me.
Yeah,
You can
yeah,
keep that.
yeah. I feel
You
you.
know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
That fake stuff. You get me? Or again, or they want Big Beach. You get me?
yeah.
You know. Pero también alguien así que se pone de más. You get me? And then con the culture, con todo eso. And there's a lot of dudes like that también, como like in the narco world, right? And like in Mexico, they weren't as who they were, but la fama los cargó hasta más.
Yep.
Y pues hay
Yeah,
esa
I
gente
mean,
como Arturo Beltrán, que le
uh-huh.
encabronaba. He self-proclaimed jefe de jefes porque people didn't give him his acknowledgement, but the people that didn't have a clue. You get me?
Hmm. Yeah, and that's kind of like meeting, like what they say about meeting your heroes, no way, or meeting your idols. But we've all heard the case where you're a fan of a singer and then you meet him, that was a dick. You know what I mean? And it's like, oh fuck this fool. It's like, and just because you build this fucking image of him in your mind with his music and stuff, you think it's gonna go a certain way, but then you meet this guy and he's a fucking piece of shit or something. You know what I mean? I think it goes for the same thing.
Yeah, and to your idol becoming right. I'm gonna tell you, I learned that firsthand, and I explained that. I think we said it in the podcast too. Like, be careful what you wish for. You get me? Like,
Hmm.
because you meet them, or yeah, I even explained it. Like, I met a couple famous people that I thought were cool, and then there'd be like assholes. I used to be like, bro, you know. Again, pero mi respeto a todos la gente de mi pasado. Like, when I was there, I didn't always look at it that way. You know what I'm saying? They couldn't do no wrong. You get me? Out loud in my mind, I used to be like, damn.
Yeah.
But look, I want to set it straight. So this is what always happens, right? Borda, let me see what you think. Te voy a poner in a spot. Porque Lupe, like, you wouldn't talk to me like that if you were in person. And I'm like, bro, you comment about my life each and every day. You know? And if you're a real gangster, see or no,
Le
los
encanta el
sureños,
pedo,
whatever.
Lupe, le encanta el pedo. That's how we say it right here. Le
No,
encanta el pedo, el
no,
güey.
but
You
what
know what
I'm
I
saying,
mean?
no, pero sí o no. I'm gonna tell you, I met some real fucking Sureños, real gangsters, dog. You know what I'm saying? I met some real dudes. And the first thing they tell you to do is that you don't mind your fucking business, right? That you shouldn't talk about anyone. He shouldn't even mention anything. He shouldn't be in the chat talking, like, making comments about anyone unless he should have done that in the first place. You get me? Check me in person. Like, no, real talk. See or no?
No, no,
Isn't
no.
that the
Sí, sí,
rules?
I get it. I get it.
Yeah, isn't that the rules? And then he's mad and he's gonna tell me, you wouldn't tell me that to my face. Like, bro, you comment on my life. Why can't I talk about you, gangster? Like, why can't? Because real gangsters don't be on the fucking internet fucking gangbanging, threatening people, G. You know what I'm saying? And don't
Yeah.
forget, I'm a protected witness. I'm just letting you know, bro. I'm just letting you know. You touched me the wrong way. You're going to jail for a long time. Trust me.
And he
You know.
gonna talk about that shit when it
Hijo de
goes
la
down, dude.
verga,
No,
te
no.
pasé de
Let's keep it
verga.
real. You think you got? I mean, I told him, look, if you want to be gangster, still no way. There's a lot of bro. You could recoger rifle, way. Te lo mando. Yo te lo pago rifle. Vete a Culiacán. They're looking for people right now. You know what I'm saying? You know,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
come on, bro. You know, you're a grown man. You know what I'm saying? Like, act like it, G. Like, you know.
Real
Oh,
quick, shout
well.
out to Young Jizzle for the $10 super chat. Saludos, Razita.
Whatever.
Shael, Jay, Bordo, salutes. Gracias por tu tiempo,
Pero todo
carnal. Saludos
respeto.
desde. Hey, Jay,
I yeah.
respect the money, Jay.
Yes.
Respect
Okay.
the
I
money,
apologize.
Jay.
I
All right?
apologize.
I don't know
Hey,
how
big
you
shout out
ran
to
a
them.
$1 billion empire and you can't respect the money, Jay. What the fuck?
I
All right?
apologize. Big shout out to the damn chat. Thank you for everyone for tuning in too, man, and Bordo for his time.
Yo, we're gonna put him in the
Listen, Bordo,
fucking
we got a
bathroom,
lot of
chat.
we got a lot of things we can talk about. Obviously,
Hey,
ahorita
Jay,
me
Jay,
tienen
Jay,
caliente.
Jay, Jay. Respect the money. Let me talk. Shout out Young Jizzle. Saludos to the raza. Shael, Jay, Bordo MX. Gracias por tu tiempo, carnal. Saludos desde Piedras Negras, Coa.
Coahuila.
Salutes to you, Young Jizzle. I appreciate you, and
Gracias.
salutes to Jay for having restraint because Jay got a wrench in this community, and he's a moderator. He could have sent you to the bathroom, Lupe, a long time ago, boy. He
Nah,
would have got in trouble
that's something
for it.
that's something I mentioned on my lives too. I mean, I know Lupe, I know we know people in common and stuff, but like on my lives when they've asked me before, like, hey, wait, what do you think? Like whenever like threats, when they write threats and shit, I'm like, bro, I've been threatened before by the bosses. Like I've had to go to meetings where like I don't know if I'm gonna make it out, and it's never on a comment way. It's never on a, you know what I mean? It's when they want to tell you something or message, or at least me that we have people in common. I'm like one phone call or one person away from these people. You know what I mean? So like anybody, like all these threads, I'm like, bro, I can't take you seriously because that guy has my number. You know?
When you talk to him, mi respeto, los saludas por mí, güey, and if you ever talk to me, mi respeto. But nah, yeah, you know what? Like, I don't know, bro. I just like, obviously I'm paying attention to one person because, babe, he trolls me all the time, bro. You know, and I just put him out
Nah,
because I don't know what
Lupe
he
stays
is.
active way. Lupe stays active. He likes the
He,
content
he
everywhere and everything. He just has
but I'm gonna
his
tell
own
you,
beliefs.
he said he's not a sureño, right? But whatever gang you represent, bro, you're making them look soft, bro, for real.
He said he
Like
don't
whatever it
bang. He
is,
said multiple times in the chat tonight that he don't
bro.
bang. So I'm gonna take him at his
Nah,
word
he
for it.
don't bang no
He a
more.
lone
I'll tell
wolf.
you that much. You don't bang no more. I guarantee you, I'll put my life on it that you used to bang, Lupe. I'll put my life on it, and that's real talk.
And we will take his life live right here on Shael Reacts if he's wrong. Salutes. Shout out El Zapata for the $20 super
You
chat.
can't
Saludos
scoop,
al
bro. I know
Bordo.
enough about
Hold
you.
on, Jay.
I know enough
Hold on,
about
Jay.
you.
Hold on, Jay.
Yeah.
Saludos al Bordo. La Bordiza siempre firme. Saludos El Zapata
Yeah,
for the
that's Zapata.
$20
That's
super
one
chat.
of the homies on my the group I got on Telegram with a bunch of fans that we just talk shit. And whenever we need to support something, they come through. Whenever we need to share stuff, whatever, they always roll through. So shout out to La Bordiza and everybody in the group chat.
Salutes. We got a Discord for that too, where
My
people sit
respetos.
around and share links and cartel content. So I dropped the Discord link in the chat. Y'all can hit that. Salutes.
Big shout out to Zapata and all the followers for the channels, man. Uh, I really hope that, I'll be honest with you, my hope was that your channel blows up, you know, and it's because of, you know, one of the top channels um, on YouTube when it comes to this type of content, and Shy as well, you know.
Yeah, and it's
People always
funny because
ask me like, why
like
you
I
guys
was
do this
saying,
stuff? I'm just like,
it's funny because I only have 2 episodes on cartel shit. Like I got 33 episodes on like music, like other shit. But they now they call me like they think my whole content is about it just because I got two. But it's the information. It's like to me coming up with that content it's easy because that's where I came from. Like I don't need to look for these dudes. Like whoa, you Jay, like I did have to reach out, but like a bunch of these dudes, they're just like, hey, come that way, hey, si grabamos un episodio type shit. You know what I mean? Like so to me it's easy to do that content. it's easy for clickbait, but I didn't know how much people were I was gonna draw with that. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think it's blowing up. One thing I would listen to when I heard like all kind of one of your videos is like, yeah, they're the only channels putting out real content, and I was tripping. I was like, oh, these people haven't heard my channel.
You know what? We joke about it all the time, Bordo, but I think that my sometimes I'm a sucker for success, right? What if you guys just start being fake as shit, and then once you have all the channels, be like, "Psych, I fooled you. We're gonna be real."
No, 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 no. I'm gonna no, 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 no. I'm gonna make it obvious, Jay. I'm gonna make it obvious because here's the thing that I've noticed. Like I told you, there was the girl that we covered, and she'll say something outrageous like, "I don't do my man's laundry. I don't wash dishes. I don't do nothing." At the bottom, she'll hashtag, "I do this just for
Hey,
views."
is that the white girl?
No, she's a Spanish chick, and she's like, "I do this
Yeah,
just
I
for
seen her.
views." And these people come at her and they get her 1 million views talking shit, and she's like, "Pendeja, I don't even
Yeah,
believe myself. I make it obvious to you, and you still fall for it." So it's like, hey, tomorrow I'm doing fake shit. Y'all tune in right here. We'll be doing fake shit. I'll be talking about how I went to war with Jay Flores or some shit tonight. All right?
yeah.
Anyway, I'm gonna sound like a fucking criminal purist, but I can be fake way.
Oh,
I've
I
tried it
can't
way.
either.
I try to plan some like interviews where like even with some girls and shit, where like I'm gonna bring some girls and just talk about like stupid shit that they clip out and shit like that. But I don't know way. I mean, having all
Listen,
this quality content and shit like that, I just wanna keep it real like that, you know?
there's a line from J Rock on a song with J Cole, and he says, "If I could pretend, I wouldn't feel right." And that's my
Yeah,
soul
way,
right there.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
That's
I
like wearing
can't either.
fake.
I talk the
That's
shit.
like wearing fake jewelry or
Can't
fake
do it.
clothes. Where like
Can't do it.
you might fool people, but dawg, that's enough for me to not do it. You know.
Yeah. Salutes. Let me
Well,
get to the super
I
chat real
got.
quick. Shout
Okay.
out Albert Flores for the $5 super chat. Jay, ¿cómo va la series con 50? Can you explain being how different it is being involved in the industry now?
Well, I can't say a lot. I'm excited, bro. But I'll tell you something.
You clunked
For
out.
right now, I'm not gonna talk shit right now because things are looking great. Yeah, things are looking great. So I'm gonna say keep it positive. It's very different. Obviously, like we're speaking about real and fake. You get me? The faker you are, the probably more success you could have, and I guess that's a problem. You know.
Nah, but we got
But yeah, it's
cases like
looking good, man.
Kendrick
I'm
way. We got
excited.
cases like to me. I'm very inspired with fucking Kendrick way because that fool like like on his own way he keeps it real his own way and he's fucking the top star for that. So I got faith in that fool. You know, I got faith in
Hey,
being keeping it real and being like you know what I mean and being commercial at the same time.
Gordo, vamos a salir mal, eh?
Oh yeah, say way. I know you're a Drake fan way.
Come
Yeah,
on,
bro,
bro.
don't get him
We're doing
fucking
good.
started. He'll go
No
put
way.
his cape
Either way,
on. He'll put his
I only
cape
got five
on.
percent on my phone way. If not, if I had to put 100%, I'll go in at it all the
Bro,
way.
he'll pull
But
his cape on. He'll go get his Oakland Leaks mask and his hat and put that shit on, and he will come
Let me go
defend
get
Drake.
my. Hey, bro, I just gotta say something. I think you're gonna agree with this, all right? Because I was in the industry, but even him, his realness is still a little bit of fakeness. See or no?
how?
Like, cause some of the stuff he raps, he ain't about that life. He's like Lupe, bro. Like,
No,
you know,
but I mean,
but you get what I'm getting at, right?
We're gonna hold Drake
like,
to that shit.
but
Drake ain't pulling up.
he doesn't really gang bang. He just talks about like when you do Savage way when you're in the hood, you don't have to gang bang to fight. You know what I mean? To fight other fools. Like if fools want to fight you, fools want to take your shit, you're still gonna fight with. So you like what they call it out here. You're like a citizen. No way, you're not a gangbanger, but you're like it is. You go through the same stuff, kind of like because you live in the same area. So I like the fact that how he talks about it because he doesn't really say like, oh, I'm from this, I'm from that. He's just like, I grew up in this hood and this is what I
Ooh,
went through. And he, like I said, he keeps it real on his realness, on his truth. You know what I mean? Whereas your buddy way, I mean, I don't really got to take out the list of all the fake shit he does.
yeah, I think it's. Yeah, I mean,
Which, like I said, if we're looking at it business wise, it makes sense. You know, he's a millionaire. Like, of course, it makes sense. But me being a crafty, be artsy, like creative, trying to keep it real guy, I can't go with that guy, man.
Well, I would tell you this. This is the way I look at the music business, right? Because been around it for long enough, bro. To me, it's like it's no different. The music's no different than acting. Okay,
Hmm.
the better actor you are, the more you make it. So I applaud him in that way because I don't like we don't know. Like I personally don't know Drake's real personality. We know him as a
I know his
artist. I don't
personality.
know.
He keep the
But I
lawyer
mean,
on retainer.
his whole life he's been on the spotlight just because on the industry. So you kind of have a feeling that it's not the same as growing up in the hood. You know what I mean?
Bro, but I meant the fakest people in the hood, like
Oh
right
no,
here,
no,
like
no, no. But
your man Lupe, like like
no,
what I'm
but I
saying is
mean,
that it,
I don't
well,
think I know what you're saying. I'm just saying I don't think Kendrick is that way.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I think
yeah,
that's
I
why
think
I think that's what makes him one of a kind way because you it's hard to find that. I know what you say. I'm not saying everybody in the hood is real, but that's why I respect it more because it's hard to find a dude like that.
Right, and there's some fake motherfuckers up there using money to get rich anyway. You know what I'm
so.
saying?
You're
It's some
saying
Whereas
fake.
to
that.
be
So you're
honest, way I
saying
think that the Drake way is the easier way to become famous because you just have to fake your whole way through it. And if you're always in the industry, with a white mom that's Jewish and you got all these, you know what I mean? You know how they move, all this stuff where it's like, well, he definitely had it easier. I don't hate him for that.
No.
I hate him for like the fake shit and not hate him, but it's just to be honest, way I've never ever since I seen him in Degrassi and jumping into rap. That was never my thing, way. To me, way, I'm gonna crash out on this one, way. To me, Lil Wayne, Drake, and Nicki Minaj is the worst thing that happened to hip hop, perro.
Yeah, damn, boy. Hot take
Hey, I
from
got 1%,
fucking
way. My phone's
Fernando.
gonna die. I wish I could keep going, way, but my phone's gonna die.
hey,
And
Bordo, pues mira, ya sabes, next week,
hey,
um,
Tuesday, way. We're on Tuesday.
all
Tuesday,
right,
y'all heard it here. Or they're on
God
Tuesday. I
bless,
don't know
bro.
when it'll air.
Okay, no, but we're doing my podcast on Tuesday, Ajay.
You see, senor. Hey, I'm sorry for crashing this shy, my man.
Hey,
I
way, fuck.
apologize, bro. I apologize. So, hey, on Tuesday we're ready, Bordo. Salutes to you and nos vemos y gracias también por la invitación.
He died out, but salutes to him. Salutes to Yael for the $4.99 super sticker. We appreciate you. Thank you for coming through tonight. Jay, thank you for coming through tonight. It was a good conversation. Again, I hope Bordo's phone died out, but salutes to him. Hopefully, I'll get up with him another time. I like these conversations. We didn't even scratch the surface, really. And it just feels like a chill conversation, so I appreciate that out of him. Salutes to him for coming.
Hey, Shy, man, I'll be honest with you, bro. I'm so mad at myself. I'm sorry for messing up your interview, bro.
No,
Please
no
forgive me for
worries.
that, man.
Not at all. Again, even if you didn't show up, I wouldn't have got through the stuff that I wanted to talk about with him. So again, hopefully we make this a regular occurrence and we get to, get on here and chop it up.
Like, yeah, the Chicago Tijuana connection.
Yeah, I like that.
You get both sides of it too. I think which is great with him. You get both sides and Shy. I mean, you've been around Mexicans your whole life, but understanding that kind of culture a little bit better, other than coming from my brother and I think it's
Yeah,
great.
I was telling him that it's a lot like, because we were talking about it. He was talking about how his homeboy is a singer or whatever, and he would wear the traditional
So, yeah.
garb, the traditional clothing. He was like, bro, we don't dress like that, And I was telling him, like, yeah, that's like, California guys dress differently than Chicago Mexican guys. Move differently, talk differently, different slang, all of it. It's just not one thing. Shout out Albert Flores for the $2 super chat. Jay, did Drake get a BBL? BBL Drizzy.
I'll be honest with you. I'm not against a man.
You wilding the fuck out now? It's time
I'm
for me to
not,
let you
bro.
go.
I'm not.
You
I say it all
didn't
the
Finesse
time.
2 times do that? He got
You see,
a
I
six
say all
pack
the
in the
time.
chest and shit.
My girl always used to say, "Bro, you need to do something with yourself."
Yo, she's sending you to get some abs in like Romania or some shit.
Bro, it's because like that's taboo. That little thing of taboo it comes from like people just picking at something like dudes don't care about the way they look or want to look better. Like to me, that's like why not? You know what I'm saying? I just have a different opinion. I'm an open-minded person. You get me?
Yeah. Open flesh too
Why
when they
not?
slide that 6-pack in there, Popeyes.
Like I could, me, I could get my own 6-pack. You know what I'm saying? I can't get a bud. Though,
I don't
so.
know. Gene Barello said he gave you your 6-pack,
Oh
bro. I
yeah,
don't know.
he just opened it up and gave it to me in a damn nice bowl, bro. He said, yeah, but I'm with anyone doing some work to them. You get me? I'm gonna tell you, real talk, man. 60% of these dudes in entertainment do stuff to themselves, even the real more gangster ones that you couldn't even imagine, and that's for another story,
That what? Say that again. That they do what?
That sick get plastic surgery done.
Oh yeah, I don't doubt it. I mean,
You know?
listen. You can't be a crazy maniacal oppressor without having some insecurities.
Yeah,
My
but
internet.
I'm gonna get I'm Lupe. I'm gonna get my shit done, bro. I'm gonna try to get like look like Cristiano Ronaldo. You know what I'm saying? But at least me, I'm still young enough to even make a difference. I'm about like being at your best always.
All right. But again, salutes to you. I appreciate you. So no, you didn't interrupt. It was good. It was a good conversation. Again, hopefully we get to do it again. He's a hip hop dude. He's a graffiti dude, music dude, a writer. All of these things that I do and have done. So we got a lot in common. But he has a different outlook and an insight on the things that we cover here on this channel. So salute to him. And he's
But
going through
more
the same
important,
struggle. He don't just want to be doing strictly cartel content. He wants the same thing that I want. He wants y'all to come to kick it with me. He wants y'all to come kick it with him. You know what I'm saying? And whatever he's covering, then check it out.
yeah, I was gonna tell you more importantly, bro. Uh, man, you just listed all kinds of things you guys got in common. That's real talk. Like, and then like Grupo Codiciado, he was talking about the fashion and stuff like that. Um, and and one thing I do feel like, let's go back to him, like whatever, when I say like be real, like he's real and humble. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You hear him state it. It's not him trying to like glorify anything, or just a real
Yeah, and if
perspective.
you don't like
Not a
it,
biased
fuck you.
perspective. Yeah, and I think that's what makes you guys. You get me? Like well, okay. How about this? This is what makes your channel like that. You're not coming in here selling, BS. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's great. So that's another big thing I feel like you guys got in common.
No, yeah, salutes to him again. I'm gonna drop the link to his channel again in the chat. Make sure y'all go give him a sub. Uh, he got a bunch of videos on there. Here we go. Copy that. Drop that here. Boom. But again, salutes to him for giving us his time. Make sure that we'll stay abreast, and I'll make sure I promote to you guys in the Discord and in the chat when his interview with Jay drops. And we'll go over there and we'll raid the chat, man, and show some love. So
Yeah, yeah. We gotta do that. Hey, Shai, I didn't wish a happy Thanksgiving, man, to you, to everyone in the chat.
happy
Happy
Thanksgiving,
belated Thanksgiving.
puro
Yeah, man.
pavo.
Hopefully you were able to spend a nice Thanksgiving with your family. All you guys in the chat, happy Thanksgiving to you guys. Hopefully you guys all had a good Thanksgiving. And I'm gonna tell you something. The fact that we're even on this, I mean, that's something we should be thankful for.
Mm-hmm.
And appreciative. Uh, it's not
Absolutely.
like that always.
I'm appreciative and thankful for my chat. Salutes to y'all. Y'all keep me coming back. Again, YouTube gives me many reasons to not show up for work, but y'all give me every reason to come back, and I appreciate you guys for it. So salutes to y'all. Hundreds up in the chat for y'all.
Yeah, but yep. It's just I think especially now, like there's always a few ways of looking at this. But um,
And go check out. Go
sometimes.
check out. Just put in Fernando Puente in the YouTube and go check out his interviews, man. He got a hell of a story. Again, I didn't want to beat him in the head with things that he talks about on every podcast, but the kid has lived an experience. You know what I'm saying? He's lived an experience, a life experience that's rather unique. And he tells the stories, being snatched up by cops, being in precarious situations, helping smuggle people across the border. He's had a very eventful life. So salutes to him for making a decision. There's no reason he can't be a mogul in the coming years. There's no reason he can't have many platforms of content going out, making him and his family some bread. So salutes to him. All right, Jay, you got anything? Any last words?
Just bro, I apologize again, but just big shout out to him. I look forward to that, and what's up to everyone in the chat. Stay safe, man. It's Friday. Um, that's about it, bro.
Shout out Zoraida. I'm with Val, guys. Guys with a big ass are hot. Jay, you gotta show us. I'm straight, Zoraida. That ain't happening over here. I'm straight.
Bro, you're gonna act like you never saw porn and saw a guy's butt.
Listen, I'm not looking at no ass, man.
No, I'm just wondering. I'm
But you
just
won doing it,
wondering.
but you won doing a little too fucking much.
No,
This
no, no,
this
no,
show
no,
is
no,
over.
no, no. You said the question is the question. You said everything's real, so I'm gonna ask you a question.
I said
Did you ever
everything's what?
watch porn? You said that you could keep it real.
Of
So
course,
I
there's
have a
another
question
guy
for
in
you.
porn. We
Okay, so
can't even
you
use
ever
that
watch
word here.
porn?
You just demonetized the whole fucking channel at the end of the whole
Oh,
thing.
damn. No, we said some stuff before that, but I just wonder. So, did you ever watch it and then there was a guy's butt in your face, and you're like, "What the hell?"
Yeah, no, I'm trying to, I'm trying not to. That part is, eyes closed, you know, straight. I'm good. All right, that's a bad camera angle. You're watching bad movies, bro. All right, get off OnlyFans where they got the camera up the man's ass. I'm straight, bro. Salutes.
Yeah, but I'm
Any
just
last
wondering. But
words other
yeah,
than ass in the can? Jay's
say-
wondering ass.
what happened?
Yo, and guess what? Shout out Jonathan. He said Robin really dropping his Chicago card for New York. Let me tell you something, man. You're gonna stop doing that Steph Curry analogy, man. You wilding the fuck out, bro. All right?
Why?
Cause you come from a Jordan city. You shameful. Matter of fact, stay
I
with
know,
the Steph
but
Curry shit, man. We sent you over there, bro.
listen, but I couldn't dunk, bro. I'll tell you this. Like, I don't know where it's at right now. I still got it in me. I tell my kids know.
Well, you think
Like
you got a
before
Steph
Steph
Curry three
Curry,
pointer?
I was little, bro. Like anyone who was locked up with me knows, bro. You know how many black eyes I had
Chat.
because
He
of my
said,
shot.
AKA, he will ball y'all the fuck up.
I'm in your bubble. I'm in your bubble.
So that's why I compare myself to him.
He said he'll
Because we're
ball y'all.
small.
Shout out to Zapata for the $10 super chat, Fernando Puente, or at El Bordo MX and every platform. All right, salutes to you. Thank you for that. I appreciate you. All right, Jenny. Any real last words this time?
Well, no, thank you again for having me, man. God bless you guys. Hope you have a good weekend, and I guess we'll do this again soon.
For sure.
Right.
All right, bro. Safe
It's
travels.
it. I would say it's always good to meet some good people too, even while doing this. So
That's a fact.
I appreciate you, man. Too shy,
Salutes.
man. Big shouts
All
out to
right.
you and your family.
Saludos to the family. Have a good night.
All right, God bless, man.
All right, peace.
God bless everyone. Good night.
All right, y'all. Boom. Kick him out of there. All right, man. Salutes to Fernando, man. I appreciate him for coming through, hanging out, giving us his time. It was a cool conversation. Salutes to y'all. I appreciate y'all out there. We didn't have to send nobody to the bathroom. Even the disagreements were respectful. We didn't have to say
Adiós, pendejo.
to nobody. You know what I'm saying? So good night. Salutes. The Wrenches had an easy night tonight. Again, I appreciate y'all. Salutes to all the donators. Jay went left at the end, talking about if you're watching porn. Yeah, I think men have mastered the art of finding the woman in the scene. You know what I'm saying? Now, if the camera can't find it, I don't know what you're watching, bro. You know what I mean? All right. Again, salutes to all the donators. Salutes to the usual suspects. Salutes to the Wrenches. All of y'all, I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna go as far as this goes. It actually goes up to Young Jizzles. Super chat. So salutes to him. Appreciate you. Young Jizzles. Zoraida. Lupe, salutes to you, sir. Shout out Brian Fierros. Thank you for the sub. We saw that you subbed up. I didn't want to interrupt them talking, so I didn't announce it, but salutes to you. Make sure y'all hit the like button if you have yet to do so, if you've been in here. Let's see. Shout out BL Smoke. Zachary Leckleitner, salute. Luke Viada, salutes to you. The homie JP, Jonathan Pantoja, I appreciate you, sir. Shout out Mike Lutu. See who else we got up in here. Shout out El Zapata. Thank you for the $20 super chat. Appreciate you. Skept1, who is Lupe, just a guy in the chat. Sorry, no offense. Let's see. Again, shout out Albert Flores. I appreciate you. Thank you for the dono, sir. Salutes to Yael. I appreciate you. Hope you're having a great night. Shout out Zamora. Zamora, you didn't tell me what you didn't believe earlier. You didn't believe that this little collab was going to happen? Y'all motherfuckers going to start believing me. All right? I don't be up here talking shit. Salutes. Shout out Chucky Chingon. Yeah, Kendrick's killing it right now. I'm not even gonna get it. Jay got to go do his homework. All right, he's biased. Salutes. Let's see. Again, salute Zaza. Brian. All right, man. Y'all were in it. Shout out William Borden. No 6-pack, just a spare tire. Salutes. You could buy those too now. That's how eventually in 20 years, people are not gonna get they're gonna get the BBL the other way. They're gonna make themselves, just put a belly on themselves and shit. Be like, I'm tired of this 6-pack. I wish I could see what was going on in the chat. There was a lot that I missed tonight. Shout out Albert Flores. I just like seeing Raza support Raza regardless of how it is. Salutes. Yeah, it was good. The time flew by. Again, shout out El Zapatas. Appreciate you. Shout out Oscar. It's cold up here in the side. Show is. All right. Shout out, there's hundreds of Bordos out there in TJ, except he found his way out and took it to social media. Salutes to him for doing that. That is a feat in itself that the other hundreds have not pulled off or executed or planned yet. Hopefully, some of them do. He could be a beacon to those people that, hey, man, you could do this. You could not pick a side, and you could just stick with the facts and, watch yourself. That's it. All right. Salutes. Let me see. Thanks for bringing this together. Salutes to you, Albert Flores. I appreciate you. Come to the Bay, Jay. You're welcome out here. Salutes. Thanks, bro. Had a great time. Salutes to you, Eddie Jimenez. That was Bordo hitting us up. That was Fernando hitting us up in the background. Talking about my bad. The mic was connected, so he couldn't connect the charger. So, Lupe, there you go. There's your answer. Shout out Young Jizzle. Girl on girl. Salutes. End of the day for the outro. Yeah, we can do that, William. Salutes. His Southside came out. Hey, Street Vid, salutes to you. San Diego in the house. You was first. You had a comment in here days early, and, we shouted you out at the beginning. I'm glad you're back in here. Salutes to you. All right. Shout out JP. That Kendrick was not good. William Borden. There are levels to this shit. When you talking about Nick Diaz, I want to soon. I just wonder, should I go live for that or should I just do it on the side? What do you think, Velez? Should I just do it and then premiere it, or should I go live about Nick Diaz? I really want to talk about Nick Diaz, man. I really want to shine light on him and push some good energy his way, and because I appreciate Nick Diaz a lot. Salutes. We'll be back live soon. I want to cover. There's some voice stuff that they're doing with Oakland Leagues, trying to figure out if he's mini league and all this shit. There's a couple of things I want to cover. We'll get to it. JP's busting with all those balls in here. You're gonna get in trouble. Shout out Eddie Jimenez, bro. Don't recall on what show they spoke about the twins. They described them as exhibitionists. They like to get their freak on outdoors. That was Okran. That was Okran. Then Jay was what's the word? He didn't really want to talk about it. It's like, bro, he gonna talk about it. You ain't gonna stop him, so you might as well. And he didn't have to cop to it. He could have blamed it on his brother. His brother could have blamed it on him. We'd have never known the truth. But it is what it is. Nobody respected my boy Albert's money question. Did I miss one? Is that what you're saying? Let me know, Zaza, what you're talking about. Did I miss a dono? I don't think I missed a dono. I doubt that I missed a dono. And I just went back through them. They're all right here. Let me see. Did Drake get a BBL? And the other one was about the TV show. What I miss? Zamora in here spreading fake news again. We got to put him in the bathroom. Been in the game from the early days of hip hop. Then you, Mr. William Borden, will understand that there's levels to that shit. And Buddy laying it out. And he's an acquired taste for everybody. He's like Andre 3000 though, an MC's MC. Oso said go live. Se metió Oso. Said go live for the Nick Diaz stuff. So we'll get to that Nick Diaz stuff. I think I'll go live here. And then I'll take the clip and move that over to the Fight channel so that we get some love over there. We need some love at the Fight channel. So I'll probably do that. We'll see. Zamora, you need to tell me right now if I missed a dono. I never asked Jay about what? I did ask Jay about the BBL. And I did ask Jay about the movie and TV show. You might have went and took a piss, or, you know, a smoke break, or you might have been getting yelled at or some shit. But let me know which question you're talking about. Not a 3000 guy. See, I figured that, William Borden. Salutes to you. I'm a 3000 guy, you know. But again, it's an acquired taste, and he's an MC's MC. Like, when we want to nerd out over bars, them the guys we nerd out over. Well, my bien, he never answers. Zaza, but you gotta say which fucking question, bro. I'm asking you which question because he answered both. We spoke about men getting BBLs and we spoke about movies and TV. He said there's good news he can't talk about. He's excited about it, and that's it. Shout out Cypress Hill. Valese, your call, Jefe, but I agree. Some light needs to be shined on Nick. Yeah, I want to do it. I think that's probably the best way. I'll go live with it here and then move it over there to the Fight channel for the premiere. But, I mean, Zoraida, he's making it hard. It's like the people that'll hit you in your inbox and they'll be like, hey, don't get it, bruh. Ask me a question, say something that I can respond to, or keep it moving. I'm busy. So he's not telling me what question, so that's the answer I'm looking for. Shout out Daniel the Great. Black Thought, also an MC to nerd out over. Absolutely. Albert Flores says his girlfriend licked Nick's text, pretty much saying he was never the same after his girlfriend's death. Listen, to me, they're mixing a bunch of this stuff up, okay? This stuff about his girlfriend's death, that's been happening for a long time. That's been a part of his life for a long time, okay? And I don't think that is the main issue right now. I think addiction is the main issue. I mean, I remember a time when Nick Diaz was clean as a whistle, you know, vegetables and marathons. That was his life. All right, if I'm going to blame anybody, I'm going to blame Ronda Rousey because I believe she gave him his first drink. But we're going to look into that and make sure that's true or not. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, we all have things like his ex-girlfriend's death that go on in life, and he's always had people around him that weren't there with his best interests. Not all of them. Some of them were. So, again, we won't talk about it here, but if you guys want to have that conversation, we will do a live stream on it this week because that has to be talked about. Shout out AP, Pura Fuerzas Especiales del Bordo MX. Salutes to you, bro. I appreciate you for coming through. Salutes. JP said no power chat. Vamos a ver, JP. I'm going to hit this refresh and see what's happening. I didn't get it over here on this side. El Bordo just subscribed. Salutes to them. Power chat is up, JP, but I don't see anything here. So let me know if it didn't go through. Let me know and I'll go check and make sure they didn't charge you. All right, but I don't see it here. Even if it doesn't ring off, usually it'll probably pop up right here, but I'm not seeing it. All right, but yeah, we'll talk about the Nick Diaz stuff. It's definitely a conversation I want to have. You know, it was good to see a young Latino dog like him in the game early. So salutes. Albert said, I hate to see Nick's downfall go like this. Well, if anybody if anybody can bounce back from this dude, I feel like since he can't fight now, he's falling back on other shit and it's just built up. I believe that whole thing started with the 5-year suspension. But I think it's like that for a lot of fighters. I think it's like that for Mike Tyson. If I'm not preparing for something, what am I doing? So a lot of fighters are like that. That's why they can't let go. Shout out Albert Flores. Salutes. Buenas noches. Jonathan said the link ain't up. The power chat link ain't up. Hold on a second. How dare they? not put up the power chat link. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see. Yeah, it's right here, bro. It's in the description. First thing after the description. But I'll drop it in here if you want it. Bow, there you have it. I should be dropping that and pinning that at the beginning. I'd like for people to use Power Chat more. Interrupt Jay and shit. Salutes. Shout out Zoraida, AP. Lo esperamos para la próxima. Gracias por acompañarlos. Boy, that was rough. Did you see the new Realist Higga Live by Young Noble of the Outlaws? No, I have not. New Buckshot and Redman. I did see a Redman. I believe it was Redman, Raekwon, and somebody else. Might have been Meth. Freestyle they dropped. Listen, man, the originals, that's forever. There's no going away for that shit, you know? That is what it is. Right? But yeah, we'll talk about that Nick Diaz. Again, we'll talk about Camilo Ochoa, talking about Oakland Leaks' his voice, how they're changing the voice, right? So we should have done this a long time ago, but again, I don't know what Mini Leak's real voice sounds like. I got caught like that once. Not caught, I'll explain it in a second. Salute to Zapata for joining the Il Cartel. Welcome, thank you for joining the membership. We appreciate you, sir. Thank you for coming through. So one time, in the other community I come from, Section 8, we got a homie named Tony D2 Wild. Tony D2 Wild is like the biggest YouTuber out of us. He's a big sneaker YouTuber. And he had done a song shitting on my boy Zaya, and he did it with the voice pitched, right? So me just keeping the thing going, right? I did a response record and I did the pitch too. So when he was trying to figure out who it was, he pitched it down, and they quickly realized that's Shy's voice. You know what I'm saying? And then Zaya said, well, now do it to the other song. They did it to the other song. They saw it was Tony D's voice. So I never considered or thought about doing that for Oakland Leaks, just turning the pitch, but somebody else did it. We'll look into that video this weekend and see what that's about. It's in the Discord. For those that are part of the Discord, it's in the Discord. I believe it's in the current Cartel channel. There's the Discord link right there. But supposedly they did that, and they're saying, oh, it's this person and that person. So we'll look into it to see what they're talking about. But we could have easily done that. I just don't know what dude sounds like for real. I got nothing to compare him to. So we'll find video or something. We'll see what it is. We're not trying to, out nobody that's behind a mask. It is what it is. All right. Let me see. Wow. Do this. All right, man. I think that's it for the night, man. I appreciate Daniel the Great checking in late. AP checking in late. Salutes to you. All right, William Borden, I appreciate the hip-hop conversation. That's another thing I want to cover. I want to just cover things that I want to cover about other things on my other channels. So we'll see what's up with that. Shout out Zaza. Tony D2 out. Through the internet, yeah.
There's nothing more.
I fucks with Tony. Talk to Tony. We'll be in the chat. Tony be in Section 8. Cool dude. Salutes to him. His family. Got a baby, little 1-year-old. And again, salutes to Zay and them. I came with a lot of game to this, but when it came to, YouTube evolving and how things were happening, learned a lot from Tony and Zay.
Joan at Pinto just sent $5 salutes. Kiel, my dude, thank you for another great day of quality content. The Il Cartel members, the new subscribers, like and subscribe is free. After party in the Discord under points. Section 8 ain't for the faint of heart.
Kanye got the most energetic AI voice. Salutes to him. All right. Salutes JP, Jonathan Pantoja. Salutes Shah Il, my dude. Thank you for another great day of quality content. The Il Cartel members, the new subscribers. Like and subscribe is free. After party in the Discord. P.S. Section 8 ain't for the faint of heart. Believe that shit. All right. Stay out of there. All right. Stay off the block. All right. Um, Shout out Zachary. I'm here all day for the hip hop convo. Again, I have a channel called For Beginners that I want to talk about things. Like for instance, one time I talked about the notorious instance when the Locks went on radio and were threatening Puffy about their publishing checks or their publishing ownership. I like to talk on these historical things and give the things that I know, the insights, to where I was at when it happened, how it went down for me, from my point of view. And I want to be able to do that on the For Beginners channel. So again, I'm growing these channels. We're very close to our 10,000 subscriber goal. We said we want to get there before the end of the year, so we got to get there before the end of the year. I wanted to get there in October, but we're here in November. We got 9,011 subs, so we're not very far away from 10,000, and we'll do our little 10,000 party. All right, salutes. Let me see if there's any memberships here. Let me see. No, not yet. Let me see. Yeah, not yet. So we'll keep an eye on that. Let me see what else we got here. Boom, Tony D2L, salutes to them. At the end of the day, if it's him, so what, right? Yeah, I was thinking that today, Albert, like, okay, if it's him, so what? Like, man, of course he's going to hate him from his perspective. And if it's him, who gives a fuck? I'll be wondering, like, why you didn't just come out with your face? You know what I'm saying? If it comes out to be him. But we may never know. We may never know. William Border said, can I get a million? Salutes. Meth is a hell of a drug, hard to bounce back from. Yeah, but we're talking about a guy that swam from Alcatraz to the mainland 3 times. So if anybody could do it, it's Nick Diaz. You know what I mean? Shout out Jonathan Pantoja, we growing, the content is flowing. I promise y'all this, man. If this channel pops, this one, the one we were, whichever one pops, and it gives me the opportunity to give this more time, it might seem like I'm here a lot, and I give it a lot of time. But I can do so much more if I had that time. I don't have that time. Things still have to happen. But if that happens, I'm looking at, again, content here on reactions, whether it be body cam, whether it be cartel talk, whether it be interviews with people like we just did with Fernando. Salutes to him. Head Kicks will be talking about stuff like the Nick Diaz situation. Head Kicks Shy, that channel, again. Let's get a link here. Y'all might as well give me a sub if you believe in this. Sub up early. If you believe in me and what I'm doing here, sub up early. Have the fight stuff on Head Kick Shy. So I'll drop that link in here. Copy. Y'all can sub up over there. I'll be moving whatever fight content I do on lives here. I'll be moving that shit over there. I'll do it here live, and then I'll premiere it over there. So that's the Head Kick Shy link. Throw a sub there. And then I also have the Ill Films link. Now, I've been contemplating what's going to happen when the twins do have a TV show, right? We're going to see an influx in numbers instantaneously, I believe. We need to have the Ill Film channel where I do film reactions, recaps, reviews. And we need to have that channel popping by the time their show drops so that we can move that over there and do those live streams over there. So here's that. Make sure you give me a sub up over there. Appreciate you. JFL with breaking news. Agarraron al Mochomo Jr. ¿Quién lo agarró? Who got him, JFL? Who got him? The Chapitos? Who got him? Saludos, JFL. I appreciate you. Young Jesus said, million. All right, so boom. So it'll be this channel for what we usually here for. It'll be Head Kick Shy for fight content. It'll be Ill Films for movies and TV shows. It'll be For Beginners for hip-hop and music talk. And it will be Acting Ill for me breaking down the acting process and interviewing and talking to actors and shit like that. That's the plans. That's where I want to go with these platforms. That's what I'm trying to do. Aside from writing scripts, aside from being an actor, aside from being an MC, aside from being me, these are the things that we're trying to do over here. And that's all I could tell you. I'll tell you too much, then, there's somebody right now trying to cut a chicken and ruin my chances right now. Nick Diaz is a G from Sacramento. No joke there. Salutes. Yeah, if anybody could pull themselves out of some shit, it's that dude. Pasteles sin pasas, mukbang. Ill Eats. There you go, Jonathan. Ill Eats. I'm with it. That's gonna be the next one. All these other ones gotta succeed for that to work. Am I gonna be on the Twins show? I'm pretty sure I'm gonna audition for it. You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely gonna audition for it. What's the link for the hip hop content? We haven't launched that channel yet, but if there is excitement over it, I'll start taking the hip hop conversations that I've had here, like that Locks conversation, and I'll start moving it over there. And I'll get that channel published, and I'll keep you posted. Salutes, Zachary, the voice of our...
No mames, güey.
All right?
Oye, y
Y el Rocha.
Y el Rocha.
All right.
Bueno,
Shout out
y el
JFL. He said the
Rocha.
government got him. All right? The government got Mochomo Jr. It's the game. All right, man. Hundreds up in the chat for y'all. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me again. Much love and much support to El Bordo Entertainment. Much support to Fernando Puente. Salutes to him for giving us his time, his insight. Again, I didn't want to have a regular conversation with him. I wanted to talk graffiti first. Let's start at a level where, where we come from and where we, common ground right there. I wanted to get into that because I'm interested in that. We can talk about all the other shit. We got a million. I want to ask him about Chuy Montana. I want to ask him about all kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? I want to ask him about all kind of stuff that that we see and that we talk about. I want to ask him his thoughts on when Mayo got snatched up. I want to ask him his thoughts on the the ongoing conflict in Sinaloa. I want to talk to him about those things. We didn't get all of that done, but salutes to him. One day down the line, he comfortable here. Y'all kicked it. He kicked it. His audience came. Boom. He'll come back. We'll get on the panel and we'll get more people up there. And talk our shit. William Borden said, "What part? What part of what, sir? Oh, what part? I'll audition for whatever they allow me to audition for. A lot of people think I could play the big brother. I think I could play the big brother. I know I could play the big brother. I know I could play the big brother. A little hair dye. You know what I'm saying? Knock it down, get the little goatee going. I know I could play the brother, but again, those things are not guaranteed, and you never know who's gonna play what and what you're gonna be able to audition for. But if I get any opportunity, if I get no opportunity, it's one and the same. But if I get the opportunity to audition, I will give it my best shot. Salutes. All right, man. I think that's it. I think I'm gonna get out of here. And Big Bro is all me. Shout out Chucky Chingon. All right, y'all seen a picture of the Big Bro? We gonna put the Big Bro up again. Let me see. Let me see if that image pops up. Let's see what we got here. What about his cash? I don't know. Again, you don't even know, because sometimes, let me explain a little something to you about Hollywood. They will compact characters and take 3 guys and make them 1 guy. So you never know what characters are even in the show or on the show. All right. But I'm gonna show you the big brother right here in this picture, and y'all tell me. Now, I'm not a believer in we need to get the guy that looks the most like him to play the role. I believe you have to get the best actor, whether he looks like him or he don't, right? Because if you got a guy that looks like him but can't act, he's gonna always pull you out of the movie. He's gonna pull you out of the immersive experience because he can't act. Right? You're paying attention to his acting. So looks ain't gonna cut it. You gotta be an actor. But this is the brother right here. Salutes. All right. Let me drop this top lower third up here. Let's see. No, that ain't it. This one. All right. Drop the sub goal. Right? I think I could pull off the brother. What do you think? Huh? Get the little stash going, the little chivita. Throw the ring on. That's it. It's a wrap. The sweatshirt, I probably still got the sweatshirt in the closet. You know what I'm saying? So, but again, that's just something that we've thrown out there, and I don't put weight to nothing like that. Speaking into existence, yes. You give me the opportunity to audition, I'll put my best foot forward. That's always gonna happen. All right. Shout out Chucky. That's you, Chicago native. Salutes. Big Bro equals shy. Salutes Zoraida. Right? Jonathan, always a blessing. Salutes to you. Speak it into existence. Salutes. Great live as always, Shad. Thank you, Zoraida. I appreciate you. All right. It was a good night. All right. Again, go sub up to Bordo Entertainment. Salutes to him. I appreciate him. As a matter of fact, William said end of the day. We'll go do end of the day on the way out of here. And we'll get on out of here, man. Do this. I don't even know this channel, but let's give them a view right here. Harlem Tapes. Got my music on. Thanos equals big bro all day, every day. Salutes, man. Again, give me the opportunity, bro. I'll be up there. Getting my act on, all right? Right, after party in the Discord. See y'all there. Y'all have a great night, man. Salutes to y'all. Thank you guys very much. And I will holla. Peace.
Is that you won. You push yourself to your purpose. You persevere through the slums. Maneuver smooth through the hustle. You careful making your runs. Everyone packing pistols. Stay safely behind your gun. Make sure you got your own back. Them busters run. Don't end up doing long time. Just bust the sum. Looks like loyalty's a thing of the past. And these gangster flicks and rap vids got y'all gas. So when the lead start flying, my guess is that's your ass. Death will let no man pass. My circle is smaller for the living. The strong and unforgiving. No nonsense. The driven. Each one obsessed with winning. Settle for less bullshit. I want it all. Take yours, cut it all up and give to the poor. Sit back, watch the fireworks and witness the war. At the day's end, I want more. At the end of the day, when it all goes away, nothing left to see here, nothing else to say. When the crowd goes up, put the playlist on, let the sound go up. For the drama, you ain't got no beef, and I ain't got no time, cause I don't get no sleep, and I don't need help, only I can do me, and I'ma be fine, cause I wasn't born weak, see the world ain't mine, cause I wasn't born meek, but I walk this planet for the things that I seek, I suffer in the gutter, push my being to the brink, create what wasn't there, bring life to what I think, blow my cloud in the air, keep my consciousness in sync, my instincts well aware, prepare to throw the kitchen sink, keep fighting till it's finished, till the whole shit sink, till I hit rock bottom, bounce back and reach peak. Back in my proper placement, ready for shit I'm facing. Still feeling alive, cause my heart's still racing. My mind's still moving towards the peace I'm chasing. Tomorrow's not promised, so motherfuck patience. At the end of the day, when it all goes away, nothing left to see here, nothing else to say. The cloud goes up, put the playlist on, let the sound go up. Till the crowd show up, when the crowd come down, put it right back up and fly. Put the cloud back up and fly. Put it right back up and fly. The blunt side roll, lift the cloud off my soul, and help me understand exactly where I'm supposed to go. Help me make a stand, know what I'm supposed to know. See through the facade, try to let my anger go. Life goes on, another show, another town, some of the clowns, some of the hoes, but the only thing that matters waiting on me back at home. Legacy building in the midst of menacing villains, murdering children like the killings becoming thrilling. The rush of bloodlust, women, baby, civilians. Land gon' become sand from all the graves that they filling. Bodies in the lake, other shake on the sidewalk. Yellow crime tape, nothing fake, no outline chalk. Just a kid meeting his fate, knowing his time gone. Bleeding out, hearing the screams of his crying grandma. Dying inside, cause she know that a grandchild gone. So there's nothing left to say. At the end of the day, when it all goes away, If you wanna get that mix and mastering done the right way,
log on right now, www.myrecordingengineer.com.
Real nigga,